Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Grappler Union podcast. On this episode, we have Paul Moloney back in studio. Paul is a black belt under Andre Maneco. Enjoy.
It ain't the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me using any technique that works. Never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
All right, we're live. It's been a while, gentlemen.
It has.
It's been a while.
Fuckers. The return back by popular demand.
I'm sure not.
What are you talking about? People ask all the time, what's going on with Professor Paul Moloney?
That's right.
Professor.
Yeah.
Professor.
Now, should we call you that
Throughout the entire
duration
conversation?
of the podcast? Is that what you would want us to do?
I believe I've earned that title.
I believe so as well.
Definitely.
So
We also can't, we can no longer say anything to him, like how he's rudely munching on cuties on
Sorry.
mic.
I brought a bag of those tangerines in.
No, it's okay. You have rank on us now.
That's
so
right.
You're able to
I
pull
can
that
do
shit.
whatever I want now.
do whatever the fuck you want.
Absolute freedom.
Dude, that beard is out of control.
I love this beard.
Yeah.
Beard is. Are you going to be Santa Claus?
That's the goal. Yeah, I'm waiting for the white to come in just a little bit better, so it's
Right.
not so peppery
I
right
got
now.
plenty of white in mine.
You do, Paul. You do.
Looks good though. Looks good.
Yeah, thanks.
Very distinguished. I'm sure
Yeah.
that was the look you were going for.
Paul,
Right.
Paul, you could be a character on. Remember that biker show? What was it called? Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy?
With that beard like that,
Yeah.
growing out like that,
Right.
you look like
Okay.
you could be one of those guys.
I'm getting to the point with mine where I can almost braid it so I can be an extra on the Vikings show.
There you go, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little short though for that.
Well,
show. Vikings were
give me a box.
little taller, just a little,
Just
not
hair.
much.
A smidge.
Dude, when people like go in for a lapel grip on you, like a collar grip, are they just grabbing a chunk of hair too?
I mean, that happens on occasion, which is why when I have
Occasion,
an actual...
how could it not? It's like, how do you grab your collar without grabbing the beard?
Well, the advantage is you also can't choke me. So, there's some pros and cons here. You gotta weigh these things.
Though. Just having
It's got to hurt a little bit.
Yeah,
hair
no, and-
ripped from your face constantly.
Like I was saying, I do not enter gi competitions with this.
Yeah.
When I went over to Amsterdam last year, it was earlier than when I would normally cut my beard. And I'm just like, no, I'm not getting thrown by my goddamn beard at a Sambo competition.
Oh, can you grab beards in Sambo?
No, but you can definitely grab a lapel and get a grip
Gotcha,
there.
Yeah.
Like, what
and
are you going to say or
I only asked
do?
that because I wouldn't be surprised if you were allowed to grab beard.
If that was like a valid technique?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Fucking Russians are crazy, man. Would that surprise you?
No, it wouldn't surprise
No,
me.
100% you could grab the beard. Why wouldn't you?
Right?
You know?
The fuck, it's part of the body, right?
Use it as a neck crank. Just like grab it and twist the head.
Yes. Hair grabs also should be a thing at that
Wasn't
point.
that legal in the UFC at one point?
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
Early
You could
days
grab a
of,
ponytail and shit.
yeah, early days of MMA, that was 100% legal.
Gunshots were legal.
Eric Paulson was the iconic example of why they eventually made that illegal. I can't remember what the event was, but he had his ponytail, and some dude just grabbed it and wrecked shop on him. Like the whole round was just controlling him by it, and he couldn't do anything to get his
Why not?
his hair
It's
free.
very realistic in a street fight. Grabbing hair that's.
I feel like
happens.
if we're not going to be able to stomp a down opponent or allow soccer kicks, we can do away with the hair pulls too.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm with you. I don't think they should bring it back. I'm just
no,
saying.
for sure not bring it back.
Zito looked very excited. He was like, it's
Well,
good for the street.
if we're talking street,
We're going to integrate this into my fundamentals class from now on.
So street techniques.
Yeah.
I mean,
How you feeling, by the way?
I'm feeling better. I
Better?
had
Much
Dave,
improved?
Dave from Ruka Stretch hooked me up with some PT on my ankle.
And it's coming along? Good.
Yeah, feeling better. I mean, when he works it out, it's like painful,
Right.
And then I feel beat up for that.
I've been paying him
evening.
extra for that treatment, actually,
Oh,
just a
have
little
you?
on the side. Like, listen, don't make him too comfortable.
Right.
Remind him not to let this happen again.
But then
Has he ever worked on you, Javi?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, has he?
at Fight to Win, I believe it was, he was working on everyone, and he's like, I don't have any actual guys to work on. Come on over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at an open mat, too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he did magic hands.
Yeah, everyone says that. I've yet to.
Does everyone say magic hands?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
They rave about how good they feel after.
Yeah, no, he
No,
does.
I've heard
does
magic
solid work.
hands. I heard magic fingers, actually.
Oh, really?
That's getting
Not
that's getting
hands,
too
it was
specific.
fingers.
Yeah. Great at checking prostates. Stop it.
So yeah, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I brought you guys some Christmas gifts.
I see that. This one's even got a little jingle bell on it.
I mean,
Look
did
at
you
that.
wrap
They
these?
both
These are
have jingle
impressive.
bells on there.
Yeah.
Did you wrap
No,
them?
He's got a wife now.
Do you think I did that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
This is lovely.
You are pretty skilled with your hands because you work with them.
kind of book-like. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm opening mine up.
Zito just
You
jumped
guys
right
might
in.
have this already. Zito definitely doesn't have this. Javi might.
Oh, really?
Zito doesn't read.
That's why. That's why
He
I
thought it was
said
the
that.
same guy.
Is this an audiobook? No, it's an actual
not.
book.
It's an actual
Oh,
book.
shit. All right. Let's see what this is. The Daily Stoic.
Yes.
Ah, yes. Very nice.
Yeah, I don't have this one.
366
This is my first book,
meditations
actually.
on wisdom,
This and the Tao of
perseverance,
Jeet
and
Kune
purpose
Do.
living.
This is my favorite book.
Okay.
Mainly because it only requires you to read one page a day.
Very doable.
Yes, it's very doable. So I read it every morning.
Why is it?
Huh.
That's the requirement of the book?
Well, I mean, you just go, open a random page and you just go to that date, and then you would read the passage from the ancient Stoic, from Greek philosophy, and then you kind of have the author gives you a modern day breakdown of
The
what it means.
interpretation. of that,
Interpretation, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow,
I like
thanks,
that.
Paul.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that book a lot. I actually recommended that book to a friend of mine, Ben Hamperian, and then I ran into Ben 4 or 5 months later, and he's like, hey man, I just want to thank you for recommending that book to me. I love it. He's like, I love it so much, I've bought about 25 copies and gifted
hand
them
them out.
out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, that's a great idea. I bought 8 copies this year just to hand them out as Christmas gifts.
Is mine a first edition?
Yeah.
It's signed. It's a first
It's one of
edition.
one.
Yeah. One of, yeah.
See, of course.
So he was like, I would like the original manuscript, actually. Did you get that from the
You gave
author?
me a gift. It's not signed by the author? No, sorry, Zito, it's not autographed.
He's just like, yeah.
But it does have this is nice. That
Yeah,
comes
it
with
has a little bookmark,
bookmarker?
ribbon.
Ribbon in it?
Kind of. You just
Nice tradition.
Not all
bookmark.
books come with that, right?
Yeah.
Nah, that's old school, man.
It's pretty cool.
Very
Very
nice.
nice. Thank you, Paul.
You're
I look
welcome.
forward to this.
You're welcome.
I'll put it on my desk at work so that I have something to throw at people when they fuck up, actually.
Yes. Yeah, and if you enjoy it, makes a great gift, I think.
Yeah. How long did it take you to read the whole thing?
But a year.
365 days.
That's how many pages there are?
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a few more because there's an introduction
Right,
sure,
sure,
and whatnot.
sure,
But yeah.
Yes.
Oh. So you took a whole year to read this thing?
Did you
Yeah.
actually read the cover?
Did you?
No, I
you-
didn't.
okay.
Didn't at all.
366 meditations.
On wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living.
That's right. So you just read one a day. I mean, it's thought provoking enough where one page is good. You're good for one page.
But
To-
it's not like a storyline where you're going to forget where you left off.
no,
okay.
that's what the ribbon's for, bro.
Oh. No. You know, I mean, like, I honestly, I'm
No, it's different every day.
I'm not reading.
Yeah.
I'm not
So,
a
like-
reader. I listen to books on tape and stuff like that, but I've
This-
never
this is
actually
not like
tried
that.
to read
Yeah, like
a full book. That's sad.
so,
right?
like
It's fucked
they
up,
kind
right?
of break up the months. Like for instance, December is all about mortality.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. So got a
So they kind of categorize it a little bit by months. As far as
Marcus Aurelius, Seneca. These are names I know.
yes.
No, this is cool. I'm looking forward to it. And it's okay, yeah. Huh. Very neat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
I-
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I can promise you this. I will read it.
A happy Hanukkah, right, Javi? Aren't you Jewish?
I don't listen, we celebrate Hanukkah occasionally insofar as it's like, let's get the kids extra gifts. And that's really the end of it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Especially since my grandmother passed, like it's really not much of a tradition in the family anymore.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, getting fast approaching. I'm very proud of myself. I've actually managed to get most of my Christmas shopping out of the way ahead of time. The last of my Amazon packages showed up this morning. Still positive I've forgotten something, because that's what I always feel like as we get closer and closer to the time. But yeah, no.
God, isn't Amazon great? You just don't have to go
Aren't they
out
currently on
anymore.
strike, actually? Wasn't that a thing?
Oh, really? The drivers went on strike? What a
I think the Packers did, actually. Like,
perfect time to do it.
Yeah, well,
didn't you
what
just
else?
hear that they're canceling FedEx's service? They lost the contract. FedEx lost the contract.
Oh, with Amazon?
Yeah, with
No, I
Amazon.
had no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's big business happening right
Someone
there.
fucked up.
I guess, yeah. I mean, Amazon has their own drivers, though.
Right,
much
but-
like how you can Uber, you can deliver Amazon packages.
Right. But they have, just the sheer volume, they have to supplement it with, UPS, the USPS.
Yeah, they need
FedEx.
everybody involved. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
USPS, nobody fucks up mailing like they do. I mean,
Yeah,
it's 50-50 if you're going to get it. You you ever order something online and it's like the only option is USPS, and you're like, I probably, it's 50-50 on whether or not I'll get this.
Exactly.
I've been mostly fortunate, but yeah, if I count the last couple of packages that have gotten lost in transit, yeah, it's definitely, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this technology has not yet. We haven't figured that part out yet.
Are you
it's
talking
pretty
about
good, but it's not certain.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
nothing in life is.
Yeah.
So my brother-in-law has a 3D printer. I don't know if you've fucked around with that technology at all, Zito, but every time somebody posts anything like a Christmas ornament or something like that, he's like, I'll just print it. That is the way of the future.
Printing.
Yeah, one day we'll just be like, I'd like to get the Daily Stoic. Just prints out a full copy,
Right.
hardbound and everything. Yeah, I didn't actually think we'd get to the point as a kid where I'm watching Star Trek and shit, and they're like, oh yeah, just the matter replicator that makes the food and all the stuff that they need. But slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Printing everything.
Because I've listened to the Rogan podcast about that Impossible Burger, but now I'm seeing it everywhere. Is that debunked where that's bad for you? The Impossible Burger. Have you listened to that?
Impossible Burger? Is that all veggie?
Yeah, it's like a vegan burger.
I mean,
it's like not.
Don't they
real
straight
meat,
up
but-
have them at Burger King?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Are they good?
I've not tried one.
Because of now, I went on that bandwagon because I listened to that Rogan podcast with Chris Kresher. The one against Game Changers, and then I listened to the 4 hour rebuttal, and I'm like, oh fuck, what I just fucking thought. This guy James Wilkes fucking hit it out of the park.
Right.
Like that dude's.
Wait, he did?
Red. What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that episode?
You don't listen to that?
It was brutal.
So I
listening.
watched.
It was hard initially, but once you get into it, the first 30 minutes of that episode, I was like, James sounds like a fucking nut job, and then he really turned it on, and I was like, oh shit, he's
it
actually
got progressively worse for the meat eaters.
yeah.
I did not take that away from the parts that I listened to. The other guy yelled better, he interrupted more. He had better debate tactics. I don't know that I necessarily believed the points that I heard. But I did, for the record, only get maybe an hour in, maybe 45 minutes
I
in.
had to turn it off after about 2.5 hours in. I turned it off for a little while, listened to something else, and then I went back to it once I can, kind of concentrate again.
Yeah.
But it was, I think it's too much information for both parties, and I don't need to know all that shit. But I appreciate the fact that those fucking guys did what they did.
Yeah, I do too.
I just wish that there was an easier way to explain it to the layman's. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, all those little details. I'm like, I don't know. But I wish someone could just say, basically what I got out of it.
Forest plots and stuff.
Right, yeah,
what does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so basically the beginning, the first 5 or 10 minutes of the podcast, they basically agreed almost that 80-20, 80% vegetables is 20% meat. Everyone kind of said right off the bat, yeah, a little bit of meat's good, especially if it's elk. Mm-hmm. Basically, everything after that statement was all like, who the fuck cares?
Right.
At that point.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares?
So you just wanted a too long didn't listen version of the podcast?
No, basically, it was just all rhetoric. I was just, what are you guys debating about? If you guys both believe that you should have a little bit of meat, it's not bad, then let's leave it at that. What else is there to really talk about? No one's going to live to be 1,000 years old.
Right.
You speak for yourself, sir.
Okay, but the whole point is how you live, and everyone lives differently. Some people get cancer, some people don't. Some people smoke and drink till they're 105 and just die of natural causes, and some people don't. It's just the luck of the fucking dice. You could try to live your life healthy and what we call healthy, but everyone kind of gets it. Like if you eat McDonald's every day, you're probably not going to be the healthiest person. You know,
There goes that sponsorship.
right? So
Well, yeah, you got to play the odds.
got to play the odds, right?
Yeah.
You know, for me, what when I feel good, I keep doing it. I'm like, okay, I'll eat my acai for lunch, right? I'll eat my dinner at night, and I'll eat pretty much what I want.
Yeah.
You know, I don't eat fast food.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel good. My body feels good.
Right.
If my body feels bad, I would try to change
Yeah,
that.
you listen to your body, and
Listen to
then
your body.
pretty much.
I think some people ignore those things, and they just give in to the, well, I'm 45 years old, I should be feeling this way. And I think that's the consensus when you watch American television and you watch all this bullshit that the people are feeding at you, where the man on the television show is overweight and angry all the time, and the female is nagging on him all the time,
Right.
and the kids are like, daddy's this and that, and it's just a fucking, and that's what we watch. And then people feed into that and like, well, this just must be the way it should be.
Yeah.
You know, I disagree on that whole sitcom bullshit, but the
Who
majority
watches sitcoms anymore?
majority of Americans do still
I
watch
think you're-
sitcoms.
yeah.
Oh, well, that's why I don't
The
hang out with
majority-
the majority of Americans.
I got an
I know.
antenna.
Either do I.
An actual antenna?
No, so like I stream like everybody else does, you
Right,
know,
right.
Netflix and Hulu. And then I also got an antenna that just kind of like, it's like flat. It's like a piece of paper almost. It just kind of sits behind the TV and
Like an HD receiver?
An HD, yeah, and it
Yeah.
picks up like a bunch of local channels.
Sure.
You know, so you could get like 2 and 5 and 12 and all that bullshit, and like daytime TV and like
Mind-numbing.
the soaps and like Ellen, and like at night there's The Voice, and me and Laura are like, you know, before we like put on, you know, our Amazon Fire Stick, like
Yeah.
we just kind of leave the TV going for the
Sure.
dog during the day, but
Yeah.
we come home, we're like, I can't believe people watch this
Wait,
shit.
the dog watches TV? Let's go back to that.
We leave the TV on for the dog, so there's
So
you
there's
know,
noise
a little
and-
noise in the house, and
What does the dog like to watch / listen to? Like, is the dog an Ellen fan? Is that what you're telling me?
we used to for quite a while. Before we got the antenna, we would just jump on Netflix and put on like Parks
Stream
and
a
Rec
movie.
or something. But you know, after like 3 episodes, it'll say like, "Are you still watching?"
Right.
And then so the dog is without TV for the rest of the day. So the antenna, we just put something on. I don't even know. It's the news mainly.
I'm
I think-
still blown away by this concept of leaving the TV on for the dog.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I think it's been proven to.
Did dogs like TV?
Yeah, like
Okay.
it. You know how the dog will, you know, get anxiety because you
they're
left,
alone.
and they're kind of
Right.
like, oh, when are they coming back? Are you guys ever coming back? You know, like
Yeah,
the TV kind of I think soothes that a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah,
No, I was-
or it could be total bullshit.
It
I
could-
might have just made that up.
I mean, I don't know. Like, do you have like a little Nest Cam or something to keep an eye on the dog?
Of course,
Of course
my
you
wife
do.
does. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was sensing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So getting back to the television, it's utterly ridiculous. I mean, it's
I
utterly
cannot believe
ridiculous.
it. And this is the majority of the country.
Majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
crazy.
our generation, so like, I would say, I would consider you guys a part of what I'm about to talk, but like, you know, like people who are tech savvy, like mid 40s and below, they're pretty much streaming and they're cherry picking what they want. But anyone above that, I think they're just watching basic cable.
Yeah.
No, and
You know?
I'll back that up because my wife likes a lot of shows. Mind you, she still watches them predominantly on her phone or her computer. Like, she doesn't sit in front of an actual TV most of the time. But we literally just have like basic cable because my mom and my father-in-law, like, yeah, they don't stream. They don't get it. They're like,
Dude,
yeah.
speaking of the TV shows, I don't know if you guys have already seen this, but if you haven't, you have got to watch it because it's fucking bananas. It's on Netflix and it's called Don't Fuck with Cats.
I heard about that. No, it's not. Don't fuck with cats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely heard about it. Like somebody was posting about it the other day.
It comes up on my Netflix thing. I haven't watched it yet.
You gotta watch it.
It's fucked up, right?
What's the
dedicate
premise
at
here?
least
Nobody's
3 hours because you
It's a series?
cannot stop watching it.
It's a series?
Yeah.
How many episodes?
I think it's 3 1-hour episodes, something like
wow.
that. Yeah, it's bananas.
Well,
Just when you thought you've seen it all, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Come on.
I know nothing about it above and beyond. I saw something like
Is this
somebody was
like out
talking
of a
about it.
Stephen King novel type of "Don't fuck with cats" or
It's
Disturbing.
real. It's
it's
all
real.
yeah.
Documentary
it's real.
style?
This
Okay.
is a docu series. It's very similar to Making a Murderer.
what?
with cats?
Remember Making a Murderer?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
It's shot really similar to that, and just like how the case unfolds, and
The case.
yeah,
Can you give us a little cliff notes?
It's basically like an internet group. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
a group of people are hunting this dude who's putting out like snuff films, and they're just like they're like watching these videos, and they're putting clues together to try and find out where he lives. And
Here, let me read the little
Synopsis.
abridged synopsis here. A twisted criminal's gruesome videos drive a group of amateur online sleuths to launch a risky manhunt that brings them into a dark underworld.
that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
There we go.
Plenty of twists and turns too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And how many episodes is it?
I think it's 3 1-hour episodes.
Okay.
I think the first I think the first episode might be 2 hours, and then there's like 2 more 1-hour ones. So, but yeah, dedicate like 3 or 4 because I mean you got to binge it. You're like,
Really?
what's next? I can't believe this.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Huh.
Some of it's tough to watch.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah,
The list grows increasingly longer though because people keep recommending these great shows that I got to stream, and I just can't find the time for
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but
That's a thing now, right? Everyone just has their own like shows, and it's like that's part of the conversation.
Yeah.
When you meet someone or haven't seen someone in a while, like, oh, did you see this? And that's the conversation.
Yeah.
thus this conversation
Thus
starting
this
right now.
conversation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's fascinating, right? What
Yeah.
did we talk about before Netflix, right? Fuck did you talk about?
what like
I don't
today,
know.
right
No.
now?
No, he
I'm
just
just
means in
in
general.
general. Like, before
what did
there
people
was
do
Netflix.
before there was Netflix?
What were we
I don't
talking
know,
about?
just like Sopranos. Hey, did you catch Sopranos last night?
Right.
You know, like
Before these series, like just regular television shows. I mean, was that a thing?
yeah,
Like,
you kind of like.
I mean,
we're
I
looking
distinctly
forward to it.
remember
like
getting the
Happy
conversations.
Days? Were they talking about Happy Days the way we talk about Sopranos?
Probably even more so because right now
Mork and
everything's
Mindy was
so
like a topic.
watered down. You know, like there's so many options.
Yeah.
Where like back in the day,
Didn't have
Happy
that many.
Days was like one of 6 shows on TV.
Welcome
So-
back, Cotter.
Yeah.
That's a great one. You remember
so-
that
The
one?
Andy Griffith Show. How far back do you want to go?
Yeah,
No,
the ones that are blowing up my feed right now, The Mandalorian, which I'm up to date on.
Okay.
That's big in
Of
my
course, that's-
circle of friends.
Yes, that's
The
big.
Witcher, that just released on Netflix, and everyone's been raving about that one. This cats thing I've seen a lot, but I didn't look at. I know I'm like, oh, it's something about cats. You know, fuck cats. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I know.
had no idea.
I would never have clicked on it, but my wife is constantly like giving things a try.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like fucking riveting. I was just like, huh?
Watchmen
Mindhunter-
gets recommended to me a lot. That just started too on
What is
HBO. Watchmen, the series, not the.
You would like it.
I see.
A
I'm not
lot.
sure I would because I love the original novel and it changed, or graphic novel rather, and it's a huge change. But
Gotcha.
everyone that I know that has similar feelings is like, I gave it a try, it was good, so I probably got to give it a try.
Yeah.
I'm watching Mindhunter right now.
Such a good show.
Yeah, I'm still in season 1.
Season 1 still?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
I fall asleep. That's the problem.
Do you?
So I'll start watching. I'll fall asleep, and I have to go start.
That's a really good show.
It is really good.
Oh yeah, season 2
The
is
only thing I
great.
don't know is I know some of the things are based on real characters, but is this real? Is this based on real people in the FBI? Because then they
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Those
So the
two
whole-
characters,
yeah.
like
Holden and Bill?
and
Yeah.
they're 2 guys that kind of started that serial killer investigations unit. where they kind of
okay. So this is based on real people.
Yeah.
and these are real interviews. And oh wow,
Yeah.
okay, that's even I like it even more now.
Yeah.
because I thought I was like, man, this is excellent writing. Like
Really
what
good.
the fuck
Yeah.
story? This is amazing.
Yeah.
and now it makes sense because it's actual reality.
Yep.
Fuck, dude, that's some fucked up shit then.
Yeah.
Dark shit.
Dark shit. Really good. Season 2 did not disappoint either.
Wow.
You know?
Are they coming out of this? Because there's only 2 seasons I saw.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep rolling with it. People love that show.
Yeah, right. I wonder if they're going to start embellishing now. I mean, I'm assuming the storyline changes and they're not going to keep going following these guys, right? Or is it like their life story? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they?
Well, I mean,
I know Hollywood embellishes on certain
they get brought
real life
in,
stories.
Yeah, they get brought into like in season 2, they get brought into an ongoing case to bust this guy who's like killing a bunch of kids.
Don't give me anything.
Yeah.
No spoilers, please.
Right. So they bring them in. They're hunting these guys. They're hunting them down.
Well, their initial thing was behavioral, trying to figure out their behavioral patterns to see maybe in the future they can stop someone from doing what they're doing based on this behavioral pattern.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. It's fascinating. Fuck, is it fascinating?
Yeah. America's fascination with serial killers, like, I get it, man. I'm like, I can't take my eyes off that shit. Whenever serial killer anything comes up,
Right?
I'm just
What's
like,
up with that?
because you just cannot fathom like where someone's head could go that deep in that direction.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I think true crime in general, like as a genre, has
yeah.
been very, very successful. Like it's one of the top genres.
Do you think it glamorizes that? And you think it sends a wrong message?
I think like it could definitely. It's not gonna. You either are or are not a serial killer. So I think some of the stuff might create like copycats or someone who would do it just for the fame of doing it.
Someone who's not well.
Right. Someone who's not well, who wants attention really badly.
Do you think a lot of these, because we had one recently here, we had some horrific thing happen only a few blocks away from here. Did you hear about this?
From here or from
our studio?
No.
Right over here in Harlem, maybe about a few weeks ago. I don't know the whole story. My employee tells me this stuff, so I don't. I saw that the street was blocked off one night when I was leaving, and then I didn't think anything of it. The whole street from Harlem and 16th to Harlem and Roosevelt blocked off, right? And like I said, I didn't really think anything of that. I just went on my way, and then Stephanie was telling me that apparently a woman jumped out of a car. The guy driving the car then stopped the car or whatever, got out, shot her in the head, and then shot himself. And they were just laying on the street, and the cars were still passing.
Did they know
by.
each other?
Yeah, their boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh.
Murder-suicide.
Murder-suicide. Huh?
Fucking, and the sad thing is that there was a child involved. That was, the child's mother. The child's like 9 years old. And that was his mom.
Was in the vehicle or
No,
was back
not,
at?
It was not in the vehicle.
Shit.
But yeah, it was fucking dark, man. It's like, what the? How does that happen? Like, what the fuck is going on? Where you snap so bad, and you're obviously carrying. This person tries to leave. You get out, execute them basically on the spot, and then say, "Oh well, I'm just gonna do it to myself." Fuck.
Mental illness mixed with the fit of rage, and just
I feel like murder-suicide isn't actually that uncommon in domestic situations. Like I feel like I hear about it quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
So
it's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know what goes through people's heads there, but yeah, it does seem to happen. But that is pretty fucked up. I wonder what see, and that's my concern. Like I'm immediately like, I wonder what was going on that brought that about. Well, there's that hook in how true crime works, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, first of all, we're on the South Side. So don't be so surprised.
So there's that.
Yeah. I don't know why you guys are so surprised.
Too, all the time. That's so weird because I don't even consider this South Side. But Paul does, obviously. Anything past Madison, anything south of Madison Street is fucking South Side. I didn't even know
Madison
that.
runs like right through the heart of the city.
It's so fucked up. I've been a South Side. I haven't even realized it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. But yeah, I guess nothing happens on North Side, right?
I mean,
nothing bad.
Nothing bad. It's all puppy dogs and ice cream over there.
Not at the rate that it happens here, you know.
Oh man!
Just dividing the listening audience right in half there, Paul.
Oh, I know.
Oh man!
Oh man! How did we get on this happy subject?
I don't know, but it's fucking craziness. There was a kid at Morton East High School. lockdown. They locked down the school because another kid saw a kid with a gun. Nothing happened but they had to lock the whole school down and find that kid, and they found the kid with the gun. He just brought the gun to school, high school.
Nobody just
it.
brings a gun to high school.
Like, what the fuck is going on? It's
people getting bullied, I guess,
Isn't that?
I mean, could be any number of things, let's be honest.
Who knows? But how the fuck you think with the amount of technology everyone has at their
Always comes back
fingertips,
to technology.
the amount of information everyone can gather, if you're a parent and you own a fucking gun, why are we not locking this shit up?
Wait.
It's so bizarre.
You don't know that he took that from his parents. You don't know where that gun
True,
came from,
I don't
right?
know, but
But
what's a high school going out and buying a gun on the street? Is that possible?
Yes,
high school?
that's
Really?
entirely possible.
Yeah, totally.
Really?
Yeah. What do you
Fuck,
think?
I guess.
Fucking
I guess that's
gangster's
possible.
going to card you? Oh,
guess
son,
not.
I need to see some identification. Make sure you're over
Yeah.
18. While I sell
I
you
guess
this
you got a point.
illegal
This
gun.
illegal transaction, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the whole story. Maybe I just embellished on said maybe he got the gun from the parents, but I don't really know the story.
Listen, by the numbers, that's probably actually a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, but that's not a definite thing.
Right.
Those parents could be good, responsible gun owners, and that kid, did something else.
And got it from some gangbanger or whatever.
Yeah, who knows? Who
Right.
knows, really?
It's fucked up. Yeah, but the school goes on lockdown, and then everyone, I get my information a lot from my employee Stephanie. She's like, "Oh, did you hear this is going on
Thus
right now?"
maximizing the third-hand nature of the
Exactly. And I'm like, "Oh, wow, lockdown, Morton. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'll avoid that area so I don't get stuck in traffic."
That's Zito's primary concern.
That's
He's like,
right.
"Oh, there's crime going on in the city. How do I get around that so I can get to class on time?"
It's either to class or to a client.
100%.
Mostly one of those two. So
Do you guys ever get feedback from the listening audience on whether or not they enjoy when we go
Wildly off topic.
wildly off topic to
So, yeah, but-
non-grappling?
But unfortunately, I get very, very different points of view on it. So, some people enjoy the banter.
Mm-hmm.
To my great shock and somewhat dismay too, people are totally on Zito's side of no, just let the conversation happen. Don't look up shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but I want to. And they're like, no, it doesn't matter. I can look it up later.
Right. you don't need to be the one informing us of it.
Right, exactly.
We're Googling along while listening.
Yeah, so that happens a lot where they the wild tangents are good, and then other people are like, I kind of fast forwarded through that part because I'm sick of fucking hearing about aliens.
that's me.
That's
Dude,
mostly
I
you.
cannot stop watching that fucking show.
Which show?
Ancient Aliens.
Okay.
And now they
I
got
know.
Ancient Aliens
Dude,
Declassified.
You
which
had
is
that shit on last winter when we were in snowboarding.
I know.
I kind of got into it for those
fucking
few
amazing.
days.
Dude. It's fucking amazing. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Trying to find the answer. How did we get here?
Is it possible? I'm not going.
So
No, thank you.
So Zito talking about aliens is frustrating to people.
Some
what
people
else?
though, not that's just
Frustrating.
Would you like to know what frustrates me
About Zito
As
in particular?
No. As a listener.
Yeah, sure. Let's
yeah,
go
I
for
see.
it.
First of all, I think you guys are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Now he's gonna destroy us.
I think you're doing a great job, but
but there was one episode that was infuriating. I was screaming.
I definitely want to know.
Take it. I want you guys to guess which episode it was.
Fuck. I gotta look at the map here.
This is recent.
Let's say it's within the last 4 months.
Oh wow, Jesus,
Shit. Infuriating.
got no idea.
I have no idea either. I'm trying to
Go
get
for
that
it.
map.
The Matt Kaplan episode.
Because we didn't ask the questions you wanted.
Paul, I wasn't even here.
Steam was coming out of my. Kaplan was so willing to drop dirt. And Javi was just not following up.
Come on, Javi.
He was talking
Damn it.
about the falling out between Eddie and Danaher, and he was dropping kind of little dirt on the Blue Basement, basically,
Yeah.
and Javier's like, all right, so let's talk about grappling idiots. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? You know, Kaplan was just lofting these fucking. I would have just. I would have lofted softballs at him all day.
Hey, hold on.
What do you mean about that? So Donner and Eddie with the whole thing. So I would have just. Oh my God, you would have spilled all of it.
So 3 things. One, I want to point out, I did not want to do that podcast alone, but somebody decided to go schedule doing Fight to Win commentary over our podcast that we had planned 3 months out.
Who's that guy?
I can't imagine.
So.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. Two. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do this alone because I am that nice guy who's not going to ask the right questions. So I contacted the best possible person.
Now,
Paul
you say
Moloney.
nice guy. I say puss.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice guy in air quotes.
He did call you to do that episode.
Yeah, 100%
Okay,
I did.
I know, and that is one episode that
You regret.
Well, I would have agreed to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was just like you hit me up to just fill in for like, no, I kind of was like, I do really want to be there for the Kaplan episode. You know what I mean? Because Matt Kaplan needs me.
Right.
You know, I knew what you were going to do, Javi.
Yeah, of course
and,
you did.
And you did it. Yeah.
I do not disappoint.
Yeah, you don't. And thus, we will never know dirt on Gordon and
But
Danaher.
that's part 3 because you guys will never know. I get the stories off air.
You got stories out there. Yeah. I'm, because you're the type of guy that would still not even ask the question. That's what I appreciate about you. You're pretty genuine as far as you're the same off air as on air. And
Right.
I didn't even know if you would ask those questions off air. But you did.
But the answers have frequently been volunteered for me, whether I wanted them or not.
Right.
Javier is like, we have to do this around Javier. Earmuffs.
Yeah.
So this way he doesn't hear. We have
Right,
to
exactly.
Be sensitive.
Yeah.
No,
Careful.
After Kaplan's seminar, which was fucking bomb seminar, we all went out to eat, and I occasionally was like looking around to make sure there weren't like small children or elderly folks with heart conditions within earshot of some of the things that were fucking said at that table.
It's hard to believe he's a high school teacher. Right.
He compartmentalized as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a New York thing.
Yes.
No.
Jeez.
So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Different breed out there, man.
Yeah, a little
isn't
bit,
it?
right?
Like, are you guys? What do you guys make of this whole, like jujitsu versus like wrestling thing that's been going on recently? That made popular by Pat Downey and Gordon Ryan, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
I don't mind it personally. I think it's potentially interesting, and I like the idea of getting like some crossover exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny because whenever I talk to about jujitsu guys, they're all like, "Oh, we've got so many more fans." I'm like, "You have no idea how small your sport is." I know it seems huge,
right.
But the funny thing is, every time I go, like, I'm like, "Oh well, shit." Like Gordon Ryan definitely has more Instagram followers than like Bo Nickel does,
right?
So like. Honestly, out of that exchange, maybe we got more eyes on jiu-jitsu from wrestling crossing over into watching it. Be like, hey, let's see what Bo Nickel can do in this thing.
Right.
But I think Bo probably got more Instagram followers out of the exchange.
100%.
And his name is now up there with a bunch of people who probably had no fucking clue who he was before that.
That slam,
I was one of them.
Was
There you go.
Unbelievable.
The suplex?
That was so
great.
badass.
That was great.
That was so
Tactical
badass.
error, but amazing. Yeah.
Souped him for 5.
Maybe only 4. Did the hips actually go over the head?
I don't know.
I gotta watch again. But somebody
let's-
definitely calls for 2 in the background.
That was so sick because when it just happened, I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, Gordon, like, at that point, didn't have a choice. Like, he was just like, dude, just let's take it to the ground.
Right.
He kept taking Bo down with the scissor
I saw that.
takedown.
Yeah.
And then Bo, would fight off and break away and get up.
Yeah.
But it was once Bo took Gordon down that he was then required to attack
To
the
exchange,
guard.
yeah.
That was the
So
deal.
Gordon was like basically suplex me so I could tap you.
Right, yeah.
Kind
like,
of thing,
Yeah.
And which, I mean, the tap would have came in the first 30 seconds
If they were just
via
doing
heel
pure-
hook, if they
pure
were doing
jiu-jitsu.
pure jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
But like I like the whole, I mean, and then like
If they were doing pure non-IBJJF jiu-jitsu. you
right,
mean?
right.
Yeah.
You know, like after Nicky Rod took second at ADCC and became like this big name, and like everyone was talking about him, and Flow Grappling puts out a documentary.
To be fair, it was his lead up to ADCC that got people talking, and he was kind of a dark horse, unknown up until then. And then he takes silver, and it was like, what the?
Yeah, and they're like, okay, so the hype is real or whatever. I think he's hilarious, but you know, and then like Pat Downey jumps in. I don't know if you know who Pat Downey is. He's
a wrestler.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. He's like on the world team.
And
he's
kind of good.
Yeah, he's kind of like, I don't know. He's like the Gordon of their sport, I guess, in the sense that he's kind of like a bit of an online troll, and he's a younger, kind of brash dude from New Jersey. But he's on there like, you're a scrub. People
wreck you in the gym.
Well, I mean, they say like
then?
the reason why Nicky Rod got second at ADCC is because his wrestling skills are so great. And then Pat Downey comes in and is like, dude, he's a joke. So then, boom, Third Coast Grappling puts on a match.
Right.
And then he won.
Well, Pat Downey teched him in like 2 minutes or something, but it was straight freestyle rules.
Right.
Could Pat Downey do ADCC?
I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see a lot more guys coming over, because now that the sport is being blown up the way it is, and ADCC was like a fucking awesome production, I thought. And, and it's getting notoriety, and Flow Grappling, and, Flow Wrestling is also wildly popular.
Right. Flow Sports. Like there's a bunch of different branches.
You would imagine, so they put ads for Flow Wrestling on Flow Grappling and vice versa. So that a lot of the wrestlers are kind of being exposed to ADCC, and they're like, dude, if this fucking D2 guy can go in there and take silver, I could probably go take gold. So that's when the shit's talking started between Downey and Nicky Rod, and
Is there another guy, a smaller guy that's really good? What's his name? He fought.
That's a lot of really small.
What do you?
But he's also on that team, but he's at a smaller weight class.
Team USA?
Yeah, he fought. What's the curly guy got knocked out in the UFC? Ben Askren. Who's the guy that fought Ben Askren?
Are you asking about Jordan Burroughs?
That guy. Oh, yeah, Jordan Burroughs.
My brain.
No, I know. It's remarkable that you host a grappling podcast, right? Yeah. It
No,
really is.
we don't. I host a grappling podcast.
Right.
He hosts a jiu-jitsu podcast.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that guy, what's his name again? Jason Burroughs?
Jordan Burroughs.
Jordan Burroughs.
I'm going to kill you.
Jordan Burroughs, how does he compare to Downey and Bo Nichols and all those other guys?
Well, Burroughs is like the best.
Yeah, like one of the best ever
like
in the sport from America.
Yeah.
One of the most accredited wrestlers that's still doing it. I mean, he's starting to slow down. He's getting older.
Like Olympic gold medalist Wheaties box.
So can he do ADCC as well?
Yeah,
but he just chooses not to.
Well, I mean, he's got to go and win at trials.
Okay,
right, and he's got. I mean, he's also got to learn at least enough to know how to defend submissions.
Right.
Okay, so this is what's probably going to happen in this lead up, and this is going to be just like a weird year for a lot of dudes. Okay, is we've got trials coming up in 2020.
Are you going to him?
I'm tempted, but man, that's a young man's game.
Yeah.
And then
There's no Masters ADCC.
No, fuck no.
No.
There should be.
I think it'd be interesting.
I would definitely be down for it personally, but I don't think there's like the demand. They're very not prone to change. There's only 2 women's weight classes because they can't get enough women to show up. So Gabby Garcia is pretty much always going to win the heavyweight one, or not even heavyweight. What is it? Over 66 kilos or something like that is the cutoff.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of things where like ADCC seems very slow to change, doesn't want to change their rules, doesn't want to change the format too much. We'll see if that changes in the future, like as things progress. But I don't see them having an interest in like a Masters division. But if they did, let's point out that the Masters division is going to be widely populated by dudes that were like black belts before I started doing jiu-jitsu. Like it's going to be Legends division is what it's actually going to be. But yeah, so because of, in large part because of Nicky Rod's success, there's a lot of guys that have been like, oh, this is, if he can do it, this is easy. So we're going to see a bunch of guys potentially show up for trials that maybe don't have much grappling experience with submissions, but have learned just enough from a jiu-jitsu coach, from an MMA coach, whatever it may be, to be like, stay out of this, stay out of that, don't let them do this, and go.
Right.
And it's going to be murderous.
Right. Because did you watch that Nicky Rod documentary that they did?
I did not.
That's basically what his coach, the really large guy, was doing. He's like, he loves this. He goes for this. Stay out of that. Keep putting the pressure. Don't let him, and Nicky Rod did everything that dude told him to do.
Coachable.
And he got second.
Right.
By just staying out of shit and scoring.
Right. And being an athletic dude in a rule set that can play to his strengths. That's like
juiced up to the tits.
Hey.
Right. Like, let's not forget that.
Right.
A lot of steroids.
But there's a lot of that on the other side too. So
Don't they have to make weight for every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys nearly died trying this year.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. Think about that too.
Well, the fucked up thing is your invite does not necessarily correspond to the weight class you want.
Yeah, I heard that.
So there's that as well. Like they can be like, we would like you at 66, and you're like, but I'm at 88 kilos now. Too bad.
Right.
Yeah. The invite is 66.
What's their name? I'd listened to that on the Matt Byrne podcast. Those brothers.
Ty
and Cade, something like that.
I really enjoy that podcast.
Matt Byrne in general, or that particular one?
Matt Byrne in general.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
I feel bad constantly giving them props on our show, but let's be honest, if you aren't listening at this point, you really should be.
It's good in the sense that it's kind of what we do or what we set out to do, and what you guys are continuing to do, which is kind of make it like a let's shoot the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what they do, except for they're world champions. So. People care about what they say more.
Can you do me a favor, Zito? You want to step it up?
Win worlds.
Win a worlds at something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Javier is hilarious. So Javi, for the public, sent to our group message a picture of John Jones getting his purple belt, right? So initially my first response is, wow, John Jones is a bigger sandbagger than you, Javi. And what I appreciate about your response is because, like, back in the day, you used to be a little defensive. You'd almost kind of be like, well, because we'd be like, Javi, how are you still a fucking purple belt, dude? Like, you should be a black belt, but how are you not at least a brown, And you'd be like, well, there's this, and you would try and, like, justify it, and it kind of made sense in a weird ass backwards way, but still doesn't. But now you're just embracing it. You're like, yeah. I'm like, wow, so John Jones is a bigger sandbagger than you, huh? And you're like, oh, I beg to differ. I've been grappling for 23 years. I'm a multiple-time world champion in several different grappling arts. I was just like, okay, he's leading.
All John Jones has is that shitty ass title from the UFC. It doesn't even look nice anymore.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, well, at least he admits it now. So
embraces it.
And I will say what I always say,
hilarious, dude.
I don't have any control over that.
I know you don't. Well, here, let's make a deal.
No, fuck off. Too many deals.
If you're still a brown belt in 3 years when I get my first stripe on my black belt, I'm belting you. You will then be a black belt under Paul Moloney. Okay? And this is hilarious because you're a killer and a destroyer, and people, every time you beat the shit out of somebody, they'll be like, dude, who you under?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm under Paul Moloney. And then I'm going to be some sort of legend.
You are.
Like, dude, this guy must be the greatest fucking instructor ever.
Jesus.
Oh, that's so good. That's fucking clever, Paul. It could happen, Paul.
Don't you need to be?
I mean, at the rate we're going, Javi's going to get his black belt in 2035. People
but I'll probably get two of them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how people get like, I mean, it's happened a few times where someone just like skipped the belt. They just went from like white to purple because they just caught on. So like, like a BJ Penn kind of prodigy type of guy. Is Javi going to go straight from brown to coral?
That'd be amazing.
Completely skip black belt.
Think how many people that would offend.
Oh shit! So funny.
No, but I mean, to be fair, I also have still not won any of the big tournaments in the gi. Like,
right.
I'm still trying to do that.
Let me ask you something.
Sure, go for it.
If Josh Bassini, head instructor at 10th Planet Chicago, if he gave you a black belt, would you wear that black belt to LCC gi classes?
Ooh. Well, thankfully that hasn't come up, so I haven't had to cross that bridge. That would be an interesting day.
It would be an interesting kind of.
Yeah.
How does this go?
So, like, just background story, I did go to LCCT as a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu purple belt.
Okay.
And I asked whether I should wear my purple belt or some other belt when I got there.
Okay.
As it stands right now, my promotions in 10th Planet have always come after the ones at LCCT. So yeah, that's never been an issue. And I just don't know. I mean, I would probably ask again of Luis and Thiago and Dennis what they would want me to do.
Yeah.
And then just follow suit from there. When I compete for the IBJJF, of course, I'm registered under LCCT, even no gi because complications and they don't let you register multiple academies per se. So yeah, I don't know how that would work, but ultimately, just to point it out, Josh can't give me the black belt
Until he's a first degree.
or whatever. I mean, the IBJJF does different stuff now, don't they? Isn't it second degree?
I think it's second degree
Yeah,
now.
I think you need.
is it?
I think you need your second
it
degree
might
before
be.
you can promote to black now. For them, obviously,
Right.
anyone could promote to anything, and
Right.
But I don't know how that would work, but presumably when Josh feels I'm ready for my black belt, unless sufficient time has gone by, otherwise, that would probably have to come from Eddie or one of the other higher belts.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, if you hang in there, you could get a Paul Moloney black belt.
just keep dreaming.
Who
6
wants
years.
an Eddie Bravo
6
black
years.
belt? Yeah. when you could have one of these.
Yeah.
I want that Eddie Bravo 10th Planet black rash guard, only available when you get your black belt. You can't even order them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You, sorry, I thought you knew that. Yeah. You can order, up to brown, but
Right.
the black belt rash guard is only gifted by Eddie when you get your black belt.
Oh,
Which
it's
one is
gifted.
that? Is that the
well-
one with the like the lizard one?
Yeah, it's like a dragon skin
It's not as
theme.
nice as the other one.
Yeah, you like the other one more?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Who knows? By the time it happens, maybe it'll be on a new design. Who knows?
It's possible. Yeah, it's actually probable. It's almost certain.
Right.
If I was looking
Yeah,
at my
no.
little 8-ball, it'd be like, yes, certain. Certain.
Yeah.
It is certain.
Yeah, I really dig the Matt Byrne podcast, and one of the funny things, which was like so fucking obvious, but like when Keenan said it, I was like, yeah. He was like, how like Danaher's always, like it's that constant clip of like, why would you ignore 50% of the human body, And
Yeah.
Keenan's like, oh, you guys only do no-gi? Why would you ignore 50% of jiu-jitsu?
Right.
Or
Or
I was-
more than that.
Right. And I was kind of thinking like, what would, because just based on the popularity of wrestling and, jiu-jitsu guys think jiu-jitsu is bigger than wrestling. It's not.
No.
If you really were to break down the grappling arts with the gi and not the gi, like putting wrestling in the no-gi category along with no-gi jiu-jitsu and then putting judo,
Right.
in with jiu-jitsu and
Sure.
just kind of like making sambo a wash because they're like a hybrid of gi and no-gi kind of.
Are you saying that because of the shorts?
I guess, like,
Maloney's over here. He's like, I can't grip his pants, so I don't. It's half gi.
yeah, with shoes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Sambo was actually the third international wrestling style back in the 80s. Like it was controlled by the same
Right.
Governing body. But
if you were to total it up, though, I mean, it basically like, okay, so
Are you asking
25% of jiu-jitsu players, like being generous, only do no-gi, let's say, right? Let's say it's like 75-25.
I mean, maybe I don't really. I mean, judging. Okay, like
Just no gi.
But here's the thing: like, if you go to IBJJF,
Yeah.
the dominant number, like all the biggest events are the gi events, but IBJJF no gi is a much newer competition. It's not supported as well in terms of the amount of overall no gi tournaments that they host, and a lot of people don't like IBJJF rules for no gi. So the people that would otherwise be interested in competing in that oftentimes are competing under other rule sets, like be it Naga or Fuji or whatever.
Right.
So it's hard. I don't know what the numbers would actually be, but if you're talking about like a world population, like who does more, I think dominantly no-gi has a much wider population of practitioners if we're including various wrestling styles and whatnot.
Right.
Like way bigger.
Right.
Judo's huge. Like and even in Brazil, like I don't know what the exact numbers are, but there may be more judo practitioners in Brazil than jiu-jitsu possibly, but it's not going to advance because the kids a lot of times learn judo in school at various countries like France, Japan, things like that. Whereas jiu-jitsu isn't necessarily in the school programs the same way. So if we're counting like even people who don't progress beyond like doing it in high school or whatnot as practitioners, then that number massively jumps up.
Right.
If we exclude them, then I don't know where those numbers are at.
Well, I know not using the IBJJF as like a marker on, the size of the community, but if you were just to say like, let's, out of all the academies and all the teams out there, what is the percentage of guys that just train no-gi jiu-jitsu out of the whole like 100%? What percentage would you give that? Because I mean, like,
as soon as you classify it as jiu-jitsu, I think it shrinks. But if you're including like all the MMA gyms and various gyms that call themselves submission wrestling or some alternate term, it grows significantly. But I think undeniably jiu-jitsu is the more successfully marketed and more populous of those submission styles.
Yeah. I see. I didn't know if judo would offset the wrestling if we were to total up all, the grappling arts.
It may, but not
that
in
this
America.
Argument is like means anything. Like who gives a shit? I'm just trying to like.
Judo's very small in America, but it's like I said, huge in France,
Asia,
huge in Japan, huge in Brazil. Those are countries with real strong. Those are powerhouses.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, like Russia and Ukraine and we'd be here a while.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's also. This ties into it probably a lot. There's countries in Europe, in Asia and whatnot, where some other form of jacketed wrestling is like the primary focus of their folk style wrestling, whereas our folk style wrestling is
singlet, no gi.
It's a singlet. It's no gi. Yeah. Well, it's not even a singlet anymore. So mad about that. But
what?
You didn't know?
No.
Oh yeah, kids. So like easily 70% of the audience probably is like he's being silly, but like. They determined that singlets were one of the number one reasons why guys don't go out for the team.
Deterring young kids.
So they've gone to like rash guard and shorts.
Okay.
So rash guard and board shorts.
Not board shorts, really. Like more like gym shorts typically. Like they're much higher cut. They tend to stay tighter. But yeah, like same kind of idea. Their gear is actually becoming kind of like no-gi gear.
I kind of get that.
I wildly disagree.
Do you?
Really?
Yes,
seriously?
but
After seeing Borat?
Well,
really?
dude, I mean, that and...
Fuck you, Zito.
I mean, I did wrestle in high school. Like, it was kind of weird going out there in essentially a Speedo in front of, like, the whole school. Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
As a teenager?
It's utterly ridiculous.
As a teenager, when you're kind of, like, insecure and you're like, I don't know, does my dick look small in this? And, and you're like...
I get it. I'm not saying it's it's not a wise move. It's that the singlet is... just functionally very practical.
Yeah.
And we haven't convinced the Olympic organizing bodies that they should switch over to that style. Right. So you're going to have to wear one eventually if you're going to go far in the sport.
Yes, but what they want you to do is to at least fall in love and become really good at wrestling. At that point, you don't give a fuck. You'll throw a singlet on. If you're at that level.
And I do want to point out, not all tournaments, not all schools support this yet. So there's still plenty of clubs and whatnot where...
Is this just recent?
Within the last couple of years.
Is it? Yeah. I forget who was talking with
I've been seeing it more and more at bigger tournaments.
What is it? what does a singlet have that spats on a rash guard? What's the
You ever had your
difference
spats or your rash guard ride up on you? Where like it starts coming untucked and starts going up your belly and shit like that? No, of course you're not, because you have like a fucking washboard stomach and there's Velcro on the inside that sticks it there. But for other people, the rash guard rides up, the shorts get pulled down occasionally. Like you're adjusting that uniform. Singlet, you throw it on and you forget it's fucking there. You can't do fucking shit to it.
Right.
Because it's one single
It's
piece.
hard to grab even if you wanted to.
Yeah, it stays in place. Okay, your pants can't fall down because they're attached basically by suspenders to your shoulders.
Right.
Okay, your top can't ride up because it's attached by material to your pants.
Right.
Like I am not actually this passionate about it, but
It sounds like it. You're really
but no,
getting into
I'm
it.
just saying, like overall, it's a really practical design, and that's why we've been using it for years and years and years. If we want to make it where people are a little less skeeved out about it, what they did back in like the 70s and probably up through the early 80s, where guys would wear essentially spats underneath their singlet, that was like a really common style. And yeah, like most people were way more comfortable with it back then. At that point, all you've got is bare shoulders, but your spats don't go anywhere because they're held in place by the singlet, and the singlet, like I said, stays in place and does its job.
Right.
I mean, if I am sure I would be the laughing stock, but I will point this out. I've talked to people about like redesigning gi pants because I think gi pants are kind of silly. Like, why do we have the old traditional tie in the front? Okay, like
What do you want?
for lack of an easier way to explain it, like imagine if your gi pants were basically elastic band held up essentially by suspenders that you wore underneath your gi top.
top.
Yeah, I mean, not that dissimilar from what we wore in gymnastics, honestly.
Just one more handle.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
you're not going to grip it if it's underneath the gi top, though.
I open that
if you were wearing what seems to be suspenders, could you then use that as like a collar grip for
I don't know.
fucking X choke? I mean,
let's be honest here. Hold on. We already have a bunch of chokes that are banned because you're not allowed to strangle a dude with his belt, and you're not allowed to strangle a dude with his
Rash
with the
guard.
drawstring.
Yeah.
and you can't reach in and grab a rash guard. Exactly. So like those type of things are already accounted for in the rules. So you could for sure make.
Why are you trying to? Why are you saying we need that?
I'm not saying we need that. I'm saying that have you ever stopped mid roll to retie your pants?
I haven't, because I tie my pants tight like you should.
Right.
Not
Sure.
like these fucking cheaters out there that
Right.
barely. Oh, I'm going
yeah,
against a guy who's a really good fucking
I need a breather.
Bolo
Yeah.
fucking crab
Right.
rider. Oh yeah, this is barely going on. You know what my favorite move is, and I've seen guys do this in the Chicagoland area, and shame on you, and you know who you are. They'll do like. They'll tie it and then they'll make like a knot and then they'll go in for the double knot, the knot on top of the initial one.
Yeah.
And then they'll go and they'll pull really tight like 3 times on the double knot. Well, it's the first initial knot that makes the
course.
Right.
drawstring tight.
Right.
You're not fucking fooling anybody, dude. You're doing this on a fucking.
Are you saying they don't? Maybe
You're
they
doing
just
this
don't
on
know.
a huge stage in front of everybody,
Right.
thinking that you're fooling hundreds of people, thousands maybe watching at home.
Paul Moloney is not convinced.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone's convinced. If your fucking 4-year-old was watching it, I mean, if I was the referee, I'd be like, undo it and do it again.
Right, do it right.
Fucking wrench on it on the first one.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Meow
But
Brothers do that too.
Here's the thing.
It's like, dude, I could literally be suspended by my own body weight upside down from a hook on the back of my gi pants. I tie them that tight.
Yeah. Me too.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? So,
All right, so-
how much harder can you pull than that?
I'm gonna say 2 things to that. One, not everyone has your body shape. Okay, and so there's certain dimensions that might work out where that won't end up being quite as tight on others as it would
Yeah.
on you. And 2, okay, like congratulations, you do it right. That doesn't change the fact that we've seen people get their pants torn down, bare ass on barambolos, on takedowns, on stack passes, on all kinds of stuff. And again, I'm not saying suspenders is that's just the way I'm explaining it.
Right.
But something like that, where it's literally impossible to pull your pants down, would take care of that problem.
So you're talking about, I mean, why?
I almost want a singlet built into the gi pants.
No, I mean, why don't you
Shut up.
just straight up go for like a coverall?
Yeah.
That I mean,
Like
I mean,
like a mechanic's outfit.
Yeah, like a mechanic's
that
outfit.
would work the same. That would work
connected.
similarly. Yeah. like I said, suspenders was just the way I thought would
Right.
be easiest to explain
Right.
it.
Where
I'm not trying to figure out what the ideal thing is around the
problem
podcast.
with that is, I mean, I kind of like that idea too, though. So, but you would have to. It would have to be sewed together, right? So you could never actually play worm guard because the lapel would never be able to come.
Oh no,
that
you got to
open.
put a jacket.
A normal,
over,
yeah,
over
yeah.
it.
I'm just
Get
talking.
the fuck out of here, both of
We're
you.
going
Really?
full
How much
bodysuit.
clothes are we
Dude,
wearing
full
here?
bodysuit, basically
Stop.
like a cat suit. I'm just expressing.
No,
how-
you're
I don't agree
definitely
with
taking this in a wildly different
Of
direction.
course
than
I
mine.
am, because I got to fuck with you, Javi. Because
Yeah.
it's so utterly ridiculous that we're talking about this right
No,
now.
no. The only reason you think this is ridiculous is tradition. That's all it is.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I like the way
100% is.
I tie my pants.
Dude, I'm with Javi, like in the
And I have
sense
no
that
problems with
there's
them falling off.
probably a better way to do this.
Right.
I'm not married to tradition over here. But I'm talking about like a coveralls, like a mechanic suit,
I know what
right?
you're saying.
Okay. But you have to be able to reach in and play, lapel
Okay.
and collar choke, right? So it's got to be kind of V'd out a little bit, like the
Yeah.
gi is now when you tie it.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, if we're connecting the top to the pants, it's
Yeah.
got to be all one thing.
Right.
So you'd never be able to play full
you
on
remember-
worm guard.
Remember back in the you might not
Keenan's
remember.
offended so far. Like he's like,
You remember when they had those
all
things?
my hard work, my encyclopedia.
They had things something called Dickies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So you had like a turtleneck,
Right.
and a sweater sewn together, right? So you can do that. You could have the where it still can pull out a little bit,
Right.
but it's still sewn to your mechanic's outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless, my
You'd
main
have to get the whole fucking sport on
yeah,
the
no,
board.
no, no.
I mean, like,
nobody actually wants to do this.
Right, right.
I'm just saying, like from a practicality standpoint, there's changes to the uniform that could be made that would solve problems that we don't have to be dealing
totally
with.
agree.
Did Origin make a belt?
there's another thing that's kind of
belt
stupid.
is-
Origin
yeah.
made a clip belt.
The way we do the belt is stupid, especially if we're going to be arguing for self-defense purposes.
Right.
Because nobody has a, well, I shouldn't say nobody. I guess I occasionally see somebody with like a trench coat where there's a belt on the outside. But even so,
I'm
that
talking
fucking
about
thing is a
Origin has pants with belts, not
Yeah,
drawstrings.
yeah, I think so.
They have like your little like clip,
Okay.
clip in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those are definitely not legal.
Not legal for tournaments?
For competition.
Yeah.
Just IBJJF.
Yeah, you can't have like.
Fight to
I
win
mean,
go there.
I'm assuming that clip is made out of fiberglass or plastic or
It's
metal, and you
sure
can't
made out of
have that.
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
In just IBJJF.
Someone's gonna cut their fucking
I mean,
eye
I
open
don't
or
know that it's a
something.
good idea. Period. For the record, like everything I'm talking about is still using cloth.
elastic
Yeah,
that goes
it-
around your elastic, right? Could it
Elastic is a
snap?
type
Could
of
could it
cloth
snap?
in general. Like
Could that plastic elastic
usually it's-
snap?
How do you get into this thing? Does somebody have to zip you up in the back?
No, okay, guys, you're just fucking with me now.
I mean, I'm serious.
No,
That's
I'm
a real question. How
I'm
do you get
literally
into the
talking about-
motherfucker?
Okay, again,
You get up on a
my-
little platform, you jump into it.
Oh, you get into it like how you get into a singlet.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, you
because we're not
step-
closing it off on top like
you
a
step
rash
in,
guard.
you
We're
pull it.
closing it off like
Yeah,
a singlet.
You step in, you pull it over
Okay.
your shoulders. Jacket
Like
goes on over
overalls.
the tin. Tie your belt. If I had my druthers, jiu-jitsu gis would have the same loops
Javier,
through them.
what happens when you go to grab that and you grab the elastic strap and the elastic strap breaks? Now half his ass is out and the other half is not out.
Can't be elastic.
What could it be?
It's got to be made out of the actual
Same
gi material. Yeah.
But what if-
Or a
how's
stretchy
it gonna
material
fit?
like what we put
One
rash
size doesn't
guards
fit
in.
all. How you tighten it down?
I don't know.
How do you have to have those like a women's bra, like
Right.
their bra straps? You tighten it.
Yeah.
but that's plastic then. Now you got these little plastic straps on your back.
Oh, you're saying for the adjusting.
The adjustment. How you gonna adjust it?
How you going to adjust it?
How you gonna adjust it, Paul?
I don't know.
Javi,
Are you
what the
seriously
fuck?
saying that your A pants have to fit somebody who's an A5 athlete?
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm saying is
There's
Paul's
different
very long.
sizes.
Look at Paul. He's very long.
I would buy an A1L.
Yeah, I can't believe this
and
is
not
your-
have to adjust the straps at all, Paul. You have to adjust the straps at some point.
I know you have to adjust the straps because everything has to be fucking perfect, but most people are like, all right, this pretty much fits.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's going to come
And like
off
I
a
said,
little bit.
if it's some kind
they're
of
gonna be
elastic
coming over the
material,
shoulder,
like
listen,
what?
the strap comes down over the shoulder. Now your arm is caught. You can't move. And now what?
Not to mention, okay, well,
if I use that strap and put it around
Yeah.
your arm, now I basically I put a sling around your arm. Now you can't move.
Is Mr. Gee Player here actually arguing against additional grips?
Yeah.
Which I've just established may not even be legal because this is all hypothetical.
Or everybody could just stop cheating and tie their fucking belt tight.
They could do that.
Tie their
They could do that.
drawstring tight.
I go
You
with
know?
that option.
Yeah.
I roll my eyes at you, Zito. I want the entire listening audience to know.
Another thing, super knot should probably be mandatory.
On the belt?
Yeah. Like we're spending a lot of time in the middle of competition retying the belt.
That's valuable.
Retying the drawstring.
That's valuable strategic time there. You know, like
I understand, but I mean,
True.
you know, jiu-jitsu is already kind of hard enough to watch as a spectator.
oh yeah.
You know,
The
like
frequent
now I got to
pauses
sit there and
for-
watch you
for
tie your fucking
uniforms.
belt for 5 minutes. Come on.
So you think if we just teach our athletes how to properly tie their belt and their drawstring, all problems go away?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. But I mean, just,
Right. Yeah,
just
I think
know that you have to look yourself in the mirror every day.
Well, like, you know how the UFC, when the guy comes to the ring, the guy checks the cup, extends his arm, looks at his hands, looks at his fingernails, does all this stuff. You know,
Right.
maybe they should do that before
I
you
don't
start
like your
the
hand
round.
gestures for this one, for the record.
Sorry. You know, make sure the belt's tight.
Yeah, what's
make
just?
sure.
I mean, because they would check that in the bullpen,
Yeah.
right, and then they release you into the waiting area, right. What's to stop you from just undoing it a little bit and
Yeah,
retying
right,
it?
right,
This feels weird. It's too tight. You know.
right.
There's.
I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck. So many.
I mean,
layers.
I don't get guys that are like. Do you want to be stripped naked in front of everybody? Like, tie your your drawstring tight. You know?
mean, for sure, some guys.
Unless you're going, you know, like who was Meow fighting like 2 years ago, where he just kept on doing the like, yeah, I'm really tightening this, but I'm not, and they had to stop
Kept
the
pausing
match
it.
like
I
6
don't
fucking
remember, but
times
I don't
because his
remember
ass was showing.
yeah, I've seen
I think
I've
it was
seen it happen
against
plenty of times.
Ari
I don't remember who that was.
I think it was Ari from Atos,
Okay.
the guy who just fought AJ Agazarm.
No, I'm just saying I don't remember the specific fight. I've seen the meows
Right.
pull dudes' pants down plenty of times trying to finish barambolas and crap rides.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but they were doing it to a Meow brother, which was so shocking.
Oh.
He was getting out baramboloed.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I
And
don't
he
remember that
kept
one
on
at all.
like loosely tying his pants and shit.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That took a strange turn as well.
Okay. Yeah. Did we? This podcast is fucking bizarre. Like, did we really just try and change the whole wardrobe of the sport?
I mean, I don't think it'll ever
Basically.
happen. I'm just saying.
Right.
I think, regardless of whether my personal individual ideas are the best option, as we're hashing them out on air here, you know, I think the uniform could stand to change to accommodate for some of the regular problems that we face with the uniform.
Well, I mean, yeah. You think not everything's improvement. I mean, like, look at your snowboarding boots, Cito. Like, instead of just regular fucking, you know, laces, which I have, you went to the new modern kind of like click turn thing, and you fucking
click
hate them,
turn?
right?
Well, no. The initial ones I bought many years ago with the click turn were fantastic. Then I was like, oh, well, mine are kind of beat up, and I'm just going to go get a new pair. So I went to go get a new pair, and then they improved my old pair. And they added this like weird like heel support, and it literally destroyed my knee, destroyed my heel. I had to take a knife and try to dig out the heel, this like support that's supposed to help you with your heel side,
Right.
But it was
Just couldn't use
basically-
it.
Just kind of
basically
hugs the heel,
hugs
like,
it
yeah,
tight,
tight.
so tight that
Really?
it actually hurt my knees.
Right.
Because I had no more movement at all.
yeah,
so I
yeah.
was then
So it's
using my knee more to try to move.
Right.
Okay, so it's supposed to stabilize your ankle.
Supposed to stabilize the
And-
heel for some
Right.
reason. I was the ankle.
I don't know.
And then I literally threw those out. I can't even use them anymore. And I went back to my old ones and I have no problems.
Right.
Yeah, but it was fucking ridiculous. So not every improvement is a
Well, I
good
mean
thing.
that is the nature of the march of progress. Sometimes we go down a path that isn't good.
Right.
You know.
We actually go backwards.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And your idea, Javi, we would go backwards.
I disagree wildly. One day I'll get a prototype design.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Showing up with fucking overalls. All right, I'm ready to grapple.
Oh man. Paul will give you your black belt in that, Guy.
I'll
Yes,
make sure.
Yes. Here's
In fact, even if I have 4 additional black belts by that point, I still want the Paul Moloney black belt delivered to me in my own custom uniform. Let's make a note of that.
yeah.
When are you getting your second degree? I'm not taking it before then. I want to be IBJJF
What is it? Is
official.
it 3?
It's 3 and 3, isn't it?
3, right?
Yes.
Isn't it 5 and 3?
No, it's
is it?
3 and 3, and then it goes to
Starts jumping up.
Yeah, I think it's 3 and 3, and then it jumps to 5 and
Oh, yeah,
5,
you're right,
and then
yeah.
7
3,
and 7.
5.
Yeah,
Damn. Oof. It's a long time.
yeah,
Andre's up for his 4th, I think.
yeah.
July. From when I was talking to
That's right.
Carlson. That's what he said.
Oh, really?
Early July, yeah.
Is that who he gets it from?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
we
an
were
interesting
talking about
question.
it at the that
Right.
seminar.
Well, wait. I don't know this. I don't know if you guys know this. Who gave him his 3rd stripe?
I don't know either.
I think the IBJJF.
oh, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think yeah. So the IBJJF recognizes
His time in.
Time in.
Yeah, they did that
And-
to Tiago when he re-registered.
right.
Yeah.
Like and because some governing body has to be able to promote you. Essentially, like I mean,
Yeah.
your instructor could die, or like
Sure.
And
he
then
doesn't
what?
wear his rank though because Hickson didn't give it to him.
Oh.
So like he's officially recognized as I think it's 4th degree under the IBJJF,
Right.
but still only wears 3rd degree because he didn't get the stripe from
Hickson.
Hickson.
Gotcha.
So
Hickson game is 3
all
stripes.
yeah.
Okay. Is Hickson coming out soon?
I've been instructed not to inform you when it happens for maximum viewer satisfaction. Yeah. I want to make sure that you're bitching about that for another 7 or 20 years.
What is your schedule, like your holiday schedule, like for the gyms that you train at?
Oh wow, this is really
No,
wild.
like you don't need to get into specifics. Like for instance, like from the
23rd?
from like the 23rd to the 2nd,
It's
it's
open
just
mat.
open mat every
7
night
a.m.
at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Except
just
Christmas.
as
Right,
just
so
as an example, so we're just training regularly up till Tuesday noon class, and then we're off for the evening. We assume nobody's going to show up, and then that day's off. But a bunch of people are running open mats in the morning, like 10 to 11, 10 to noon or whatnot.
Yeah.
So anyone that wants to train is presumably going to go to one of the gazillion open mats that are happening around the city, and then just back to regular schedule on Thursday. So.
Yeah.
Shit, I think we'll release this episode on Monday then. Since Tuesday is Christmas Eve. That makes sense, right? Throw it out there on Monday.
I don't think
right
you're
away.
going to increase or decrease the viewership.
Right. I mean, like nobody's going to listen to it on Christmas Day, but I mean, they'll be going back to work, next week and probably
yeah.
jump
I
onto
guess
an
you're right.
episode. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, I'm the guest, bro. It's going to do huge numbers no matter what.
Huge.
Huge.
Ginormous. Ginormous.
Paul
numbers.
Moloney does.
Who's the biggest right now? Carlson? Yeah.
Carlson without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's unbelievable the reach he has.
That's great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, all over the. I mean, we're already all over the world, but his numbers are like, what the fuck? It's incredible.
So
Yeah.
let me get back to a little subject. We almost talked about this last time, but we
What was that?
kind of got brushed under the rug. So Soul Fighters.
Yeah, Soul Fighters. We're no longer Soul Fighters, I don't think.
I think
so-
who we are still.
Ah, you guys don't even know.
Yeah, we don't
That's so
even-
bizarre
I
for me.
think we might be double fisting it.
I think,
Wait, what?
I think we're in the middle of
Double
figuring
five.
that out.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. Yeah,
Like we haven't completely
So-
dropped it because there still might be, some, deals to be made or what.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
right.
So it's double five and Soul Fire split.
Double fisting. I didn't guess that.
I thought you would seize upon that for sure.
God.
Yeah, double five. It's a cool logo. I don't know about the name.
Cool logo, for sure.
The name is, I don't get what that means. It's probably a Brazilian area code or something.
I was going to say, I think that's what it is. So, somebody had said the same thing, but I didn't actually see anyone confirm it, so I don't know if that's
I
true.
believe that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a cool logo. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a horrible name.
Man,
Horrible.
just
Yeah, I'm not taking the name.
So I don't think we'll be that.
I don't think so. I don't know.
But right now, I say we're Andre Maneco.
Yeah.
So that's all.
That's it.
Team to be determined.
I mean, it only really matters once registration time, right?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is coming up rapidly for most
March.
of us. Well, don't you guys? I mean, I renew my membership. I fucked
January.
it up. Yeah, I renew my membership basically end of December, January. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Are you registering?
When do you have to do it?
I think yours is going to be expensive, black belt.
oh yeah, that's right.
We'll
That's
see.
cheap.
I don't know.
Like 500.
I mean, I definitely have
Right?
to.
Isn't it like $500?
Man, every time I start talking about these prices, somebody gives me different information. So I don't know what to say anymore.
I thought it was 500.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then fuck off. Yeah, no, I definitely want to compete. I mean, at least once, just to say, I competed at all belt levels. You
Sure,
know,
yeah, of course.
so you got to cross that off the list and
Right.
try out the new belt. But yeah, I don't think that I'm. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna do something like tap cancer out. Just
Okay.
make
Good
that like my
organization.
annual kind of like, okay, that's when I get out there and
Do the thing.
do the thing.
Is that
and
a
just-
tournament as well as a super fight setup? As
yeah,
well?
so they
do both, right?
Yeah, they run a normal tournament, and then they
do
have
like,
have a
like a fight to win,
Yeah,
grappling games type situation.
and I think that's actually new. Having the big, it was all no-gi this
Oh,
year,
wow.
I think, or not. I'm sorry, not all no-gi. It was all submission only. I meant to say.
Oh, okay. That was the rule set.
As the rule set for the
And-
super fights.
And then if they didn't go to submission, it was just a draw.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Nothing like
Well,
that.
sorry, not a draw, like a judge's decision.
Dude, do you know anything about
No,
this?
no,
Shut
that-
the fuck up, man.
Sorry.
Did you compete at it?
Yeah, I started agreeing with him before I realized
God damn it! How are you off your game today?
I am off my game
What
today.
the fuck?
But yeah, so judge's decision if there's no clear victor by submission.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Makes sense.
And
So it's just like fight to win then.
yeah, they're scoring based on mostly aggression, submission attempts, and things like
No
that.
slams.
No slams. That stage would not be good for slams.
Yeah, I just got an MRI back on my neck, so I got 2 herniated discs in my neck.
Just two?
Yeah,
Look at you.
Yeah, is that cute or what?
That's adorable.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I don't even know.
Yeah. Does your neck ever completely freeze up like a board and you're doing that for like 2
No,
weeks?
no.
That happens to me regularly.
Oh, that sounds
Every,
terrible.
Like, yeah,
You
probably
should get like a
3 or 4
RoboCop uniform,
3 or 4 times a year it happens, so.
Did it happen at work too?
No, it only happens from jiu-jitsu.
Not
Is it-
everyday life.
Not everyday life. Yeah.
Is there a specific thing that
Yes.
you probably shouldn't be doing that sets it off? Inverting.
Yeah. So yeah,
Worm guard,
changed
spider
my
guard.
I changed my game around a lot. I used to invert a lot. Now that's not to say I won't still Berimbolo and just come up on
Right.
the sweep, but I'm not hanging out down there, crab riding on my neck and trying to take the back. I'm also not inverting, just kind of getting caught under that kiss of the dragon kind of
Right, where they're sitting their
where
weight
they're
on
sitting
you.
their weight
Yeah.
on your neck.
Do you remember when is this just prolonged? This
I
just
remember
prolonged
the
exposure?
incident.
Oh,
The
you
exact
remember?
Yeah,
moment.
the
Oh,
exact
wow.
moment
Who was it?
was it was at
Well, I don't know.
it was
We
at
wanna-
10th Planet Chicago. It wasn't anyone's fault, except for mine. And I was wrestling with Hawk.
Okay.
With Kevin Hawk.
Yeah, yeah.
And D1 or D2 fucking All-American.
Absolute beast.
Beast 215, blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to hang with him on the feet. And I do like one of those like Iowa blast doubles
Oh,
on
God.
him, like forehead to the sternum type thing, and I shot in from probably from too far out.
far out, yeah.
And he just kind of went, poof,
He bricked
and
you,
He
yeah.
just hipped into me and just like, it was just like my neck snapped back, the way it kind of hit. And that was the moment where I was like, oh fuck. And I was all stiff for like a couple weeks. And I think that's when it happened. And now it just gets like, I have these flare ups basically. Like if I get put into like, here's another one. If somebody passes my guard and goes to side control and goes like arm under the head and puts like
Pulls it
a
in,
lot
heavy
of shoulder pressure on my jawbone, that like I'll
Starts tweaking
probably be like stiff for a week after that.
Darce has got to be fucking killer right now for you.
Nobody's catching me in fucking guillotines, darces, or
Yeah, you gotta really
triangles.
protect
I'm
it.
like really like that's one thing that I like. My defense is I'm just like you're not getting my neck, you cocksucker. Nobody's getting my fucking neck, Yeah, and I mean. There's only, there's a handful of guys that can pass my guard in the gym, Tyler, John, Andre, and they know.
Right,
Like
right.
they know like once they do, they're not going to fucking, bury me with shoulder pressure and stuff like that. And so it kind of sucks for my training partner, but
I mean,
it's
there's
like,
a million things to work on.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm not just like blasting up and regarding right away. It's like I'm taking a tool away from you, a very effective like control position. I'm not going to be a total cunt and just like regard immediately because you were nice enough not to put me in that kind of thing. So yeah, we just kind of work from there. But it just I fight tooth and nail not to get my guard passed. I mean, like tooth and fucking nail, and I turtle a lot more now too. So if someone is passing, I go to turtle. For that reason, because you can't really
put the same pressure down.
You can't put the same pressure on my neck. Sure. So I'm becoming, I've got more game from turtle now because of that.
Are you studying the master?
No,
you're not studying Eduardo Telles.
No.
Oh my god,
is it great?
I fucking love his shit. I've been on. I've been on his stuff for years now, and he just
is it a BJJ
better.
Fanatics thing?
He's got like a I think it's called like the Turtle Guard Revisited or something like that. That'd be a good one to start with
on BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah,
okay.
He's got his own.
Yeah, thanks.
He's got his own online site too. But yeah, like so I don't know, like if we look back at the rules, and people get very, very upset when you say turtle guard, but like back in the day when you went turtle, you could use certain maneuvers to sweep and get sweep points.
Yeah.
So you could score just like it was guard. So he was really good at that and like just wrecking shop on guys, just racking up victory after victory because he'd go to turtle. They're like, yes, take the back. Why am I on bottom now?
Yeah.
And yeah, like he's modified his stuff over the years to kind of accommodate for the new rules.
What is he doing? Like Granby's and stuff from?
Oh yeah, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of things. He does like a modified like Fat Man or Peterson roll.
So still neck shit, huh? Well,
not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Just if you do it correctly, like on your shoulders, you can.
I think you'll be fine for quite a bit of it. Yeah. But
thanks for the tip. Yeah.
He's got a lot of variations on the theme. He's got his own website that he streams stuff on. So
he was in EBI. He was on EBI.
Yeah.
He didn't do
well. He made it to, I want to say, was it the semis or the quarters? I can't remember, but he is one of the few guys where I'm like, he's going to just defend and I'm going to be completely happy because I want to see everything that he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will definitely pick that up.
Yeah, one of the few guys. There's also this guy from Estonia, Britt Mikkelsen. He's also on BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah.
A lot of his materials available through the Globetrotters because they put the camps. They put like whole hour-long clips up,
right?
So you can get a very good impression of what he's doing. And even Pritt, who plays his own variation on like turtle guard, he calls it turtle guard, panda guard. He's got this thing he calls grilled chicken, but it's actually supposed to be called rotisserie chicken.
Okay.
It's real weird.
Yeah.
But like how they all integrate together, and they're just like a set of positions that whether he's sitting on his side or on his knees, they all play well together. But even he constantly references like that Tullis is the go-to source for this stuff.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah, I saw
BJJ Fanatics cranking out shit. There's like a different one every day coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude. You know what was funny? Gary Tonans. Just the title of it was awesome. Because,
Exiting the system.
Yeah, you know how Danaher's whole thing is, leg locks into the system. Back attacks into the system. Gary Tonans is.
Exiting the system.
Exit the system. Submission escapes. It's a whole DVD about escaping position.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think people work on it enough.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I try in my my classes that I teach to put people in bad positions, situational sparring positions, so that they work on shit that they don't want to work on when they're rolling.
Right.
I know I'm pretty aware of what I need to work on, and I allow a lot of people just to get me in really shitty fucking positions because I just need to work. I need to fucking work.
Yeah.
And I'm, and I just let them work. I'll let them take my bag, let them choke me out, let them get me in the shittiest position that you feel you're comfortable in, and I have to try to work my way out of it.
Right.
And I think a lot of younger, white blues, even purples, going up there, they're just like, I don't want to be in a bad position. And then when they get in a bad position, they're tapping either early or they don't even know how to escape it.
Yeah.
So putting them in those positions in the fundamentals class, I think that's a
great idea, because those guys are so early in their kind of, rolling career, whatever you want to call it, that they're still probably get like nervous before they slap hands, and like there's still a little bit of ego that hasn't been beat out of them yet. They're considering this an actual match, even though it's just a 3-minute fucking roll. It's not till you get to that, like, purple and above, where you can put yourself in bad positions, because you're rolling against blues and whites, and
I mean, I think for me, because I'm smaller, I think I just had to like deal with bigger guys moving me around so much, and me always having to get out of shitty fucking positions because I didn't have the strength nor the technique to escape, and I just had to kind of keep working it. And I kind of appreciate it now, looking back, saying, because of the way I do jiu-jitsu now, I can put myself in really shitty positions with really high level people and work my way out and get regard and do stuff. So I'm going to pass that on to people that, take my class and see if it works for them. It's maybe not for everybody, but for the guys that come to my class, and I've heard that they enjoy it. So that's good.
Yeah, no. Gary talks about how like he kind of credits EBI with like bringing a focus on that. He's always been very good at escapes.
Right.
He explains his reasons why and whatnot. But
Gary Tonin.
Yeah, sorry, Gary Tonin.
For sure.
Yeah.
Getting back to the exiting the system conversation. And Gordon Ryan talks about this as well, that when you're really, really confident of your defensive abilities, it's like even though you don't want to be put in a deep arm bar, but when you know that you can stop the arm bar at the beginning stages, the middle stages, and the late stage, now you're more willing to take risks. Now you're more willing to attack without being like, oh, what if I get countered and whatnot.
Exactly.
And it's why he's the most exciting grappler.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there is suspenseful moments where it's like, oh shit, that's deep. Oh, he's out.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Crone versus Gary.
Yeah, that's
perfect
that's
example. I mean, fucking full on armbar. For a while, a couple of roll throughs, everything like that.
But let's also not be. Like sometimes when he's doing those deep escapes, he's still taking a little bit of damage too.
Yeah, I'm sure
you're not getting out of that unscathed.
I'm sure he had crunchy elbow for
sure.
Right.
Quite a few months.
Look at
after that.
AJ versus him with that knee bar. Right. I mean, AJ was fucked up.
Dude, did you see his fight to win match?
I did not. I don't watch that guy.
God,
I can care less about that.
Honestly, yeah.
Didn't Seth get hurt in that one?
I think so.
Yeah,
maybe
they went off the stage and stuff.
He was just being the definition of a cunt.
Really?
Yeah. Like, when they get close to the edge, he'd be like in dude's face, and like, it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, let's walk back to the center,
right.
And like AJ would just be like,
smack the dude on the ass one time.
yeah, like
Really?
just anything to be, just he came out with nunchucks and fucking did a whole like.
I mean, he represents Gracie Barra. And, I like Gracie Barra, but man, he's such a shitty representative for that fucking team.
I know. I'm
it's so
honestly
bizarre
surprised they allow
that
it.
They allow that shit to go on.
Don't think anyone holds that against Gracie Barra though.
People who I don't know. I kind of do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bizarre because I really like Gracie Barra.
Well, no, but
it's bizarre that they let a fool like that take
Gracie
center
Barra,
stage.
like tradition and showing homage, and that's why we wear white gis all the time.
I mean,
and,
did you see Gracie Barra's intro to their gyms? I went on the Gracie Barra Downers Grove website, and it's fucking beautiful. For one, they have like this whole people like to say and talk shit about Gracie Barra, like the McDonald's and all that shit.
I mean, that's very, very individual.
Yeah, that's so stupid. There's a lot of really good fucking guys.
Yeah, for sure.
out there.
Some of the best schools come from or are still Baja academies.
So I was on their site, and I was just checking out, and they have a great video explaining, like, very welcoming, the uniform. You go into the locker room. This is the rules of the. It's very well organized, very nice and neat.
So it's almost like you've had a walkthrough of the gym before you even leave the house.
So you know how when people come by Maneco's, and if Braulio's there, come over here to the front. Oh, this is where we go, and this. And it's kind of like a little bit messy sometimes.
Right.
Gracie Barra, they have a video you can just watch.
You
and
know what to
you know what to
expect.
expect. You know
That's what
where
they
to
do
go,
with-
what to do, what you're going to get, what you're going to receive, all this stuff. Etiquette, everything is explained in this nice, very well constructed
The welcome
video.
package.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I was
Very nice.
just talking to my realtor, and they marketed the last house they marketed was so beautiful the way they did it, and they had a 3D video of, and you could just kind of like click
can look
through
around
and
and
walk
all the
through,
rooms.
the,
Sure, yeah.
literally walk the
Like a
rooms,
virtual tour.
like a virtual tour.
Right.
And
I've seen that in a couple of houses.
yeah.
And
he's like,
other-
he's like, Paulie, every time we have a showing, it's a second showing. We know they like the house. That's why they're there. They already walked through it.
Right.
So you don't get any kind of like people wasting time and
Right,
da-da-da.
right.
Every single showing is a second showing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's such a good idea to do for a jiu-jitsu gym because
It is.
people
They don't know what to expect.
don't
They
know
don't know
what
how
to
to do
expect. They're like,
anything.
how do I walk in the front door of this
Right.
fucking place? This is going to be
Yes.
super intimidating to some people, you know?
I'm telling you, Gracie Barra, they really hit it out of the park. I
That's a
was super
great
impressed.
idea.
Yeah, really, really, really impressive.
Yeah.
so you're going to enable that at Maneco's? You're going to go record some 3D video?
No, I don't do that, but I appreciate the fact that Gracie Barra did it.
Smart.
I think other jiu-jitsu schools should follow suit.
I'm sure they will. I mean, it's public now, so it's going to,
Oh, I mean,
you know.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it might have been there for years. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
well-
saying I stumbled upon it.
Well, I'm not saying it's public now because we're talking about it. It's been on the internet, obviously.
I mean,
so.
right.
Omar's got the drone footage that Milos
Well, that's
recorded
because you
for.
can't find his gym.
At the time, the sign was not up. The sign is up now.
Even
Yeah.
now, it's kind of like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I got to remember, like, okay, back through there, make a right, left, then down there.
Yeah,
and
still not the easiest place to find. Don't get me
Right,
wrong,
right.
but yeah, like at the time when that was done, there wasn't even a sign up.
There wasn't
yet.
even a sign.
The,
right.
the
it's like
building.
the speakeasy of 10th Planets.
Damn,
That's right.
that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
Let's
that
be
is kind of
honest.
cool. Speakeasy jiu-jitsu. I
Still-
mean, it doesn't seem to be fucking hurting him at all.
No.
Every time he posts a picture, there's like 40 guys on the mat.
Yeah, and his open mats on Sunday, which I can never make because it's scheduled in the same time slot that I teach, are just freaking amazing. Now.
Yeah.
Like really, just tons of guys, a lot of high level guys too.
I haven't
coming
talked to him in a
from
while.
Bunch
Is
of gyms.
he doing gi still? Because the last time we spoke to him, he was doing the gi.
No, he's not doing gi.
He was.
What are you talking about?
He was doing gi
When's the last time you talked to him?
when he was in.
The last time he was in, I think, was with. When was he in?
Jeez, when was the last time that we brought Omar in?
Omar, I remember being in here when Omar was. So he did his own
own, and
episode.
then with
that was at
Amber
the
and-
and then he was in with Amber for like an EBI companion, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to look on the.
That's when he was making fun of you about when are you coming out with your Fetal Guard DVD.
Yeah. No.
Classic.
Classic. Fucking
That's awesome.
one of the best show moments ever. Fetal Guard.
He was doing because he went to visit Jean-Jacques Machado, and I said he was doing gi a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
when in Rome.
Gonna go to John Jacques.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But I gotta stop by over there and see him.
You should.
But yeah, Sundays is usually my day off, but it's okay.
You should change that.
Is there a Christmas Eve open mat that everyone's going to?
I don't know about Christmas Eve. I've seen a lot of Christmas
Sure.
Day stuff.
No,
Yeah,
Christmas
you'll see
Eve?
a bunch of shit on Instagram coming
I
up.
saw
this
someone
next.
post on the 155 and under about Alliance.
Does
doing
Chicago
Christmas Eve.
BJJ still post?
I think not quite as frequently
Not as frequently
before,
as it used to.
Yeah, but yeah, still put
Yeah,
stuff out
because
there
he
occasionally.
he or she, was
It's not that mysterious. I mean, he used to record videos where we definitely know it's a he or
okay.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just
Maybe.
fucking around. Yeah, I mean, usually you would just go to his page and find out like all the open mats and when they were, and you know.
right. And yeah, still puts that stuff on. Although I haven't checked to see if there's a recent post there.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything recent from him. Well, it's okay. I know we're doing it by Maneco, right?
What's that?
Open
Ever day.
We're probably the only day we're not doing it is Christmas Day.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many key holders at Maneco's that like, even when you think the gym's going to be closed,
Somebody's
like
still
someone's
there.
like still there just doing shit.
Right.
When are we
working
gonna
on
start
stuff.
doing Kali?
I don't know. Just don't-
I bought those sticks, dude.
I know. It's like I so want to, but there's just not enough time in the day, you know.
Yeah, right. And then when you're there, you're like, oh, okay.
Let's just train. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's not like I've mastered jujitsu, and it's just like
It's never
it's still
gonna
a ton
happen.
of shit. I
Wait,
want
never
You
gonna
got your black belt and you haven't mastered
No.
jujitsu? Oh, come on.
The journey has just begun, as far as I'm
Indeed
told.
it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John just brought a crash pad in, so we're doing
big throws.
We're doing throws on Sundays, and it's you know,
We should do a little collie, man.
When are you going to fit it in?
I want to. Don't get me wrong.
He wants to, but he wants it to be easy and integrated into his schedule.
I mean, it's like I work 2 jobs, you know, like I just don't understand how people like guys who golf. I'm just like, really? You've got like 6-hour windows where you can just not do anything. You know what I mean?
6 hours if you suck. 4 hours if you're pretty good.
It takes yes, the round is 4 hours,
right.
But you got to fucking drive there. You got to get the, you know, pay the tee fees, and you know, it's a 6-hour thing. You know,
Speaking of golf,
It's
you
a
could probably
6-hour
go
affair,
golfing
yes.
today with the weather we got in Chicago.
Man, yeah,
know.
it's crazy.
Holy
Like,
shit.
yeah, definitely. Well, not going to be a white Christmas. Not even sure if it's going to be a cold Christmas.
No.
Like it's looking.
No, it's definitely not. It's going to be in the 50s.
I'm totally fine with it. I've had plenty of white Christmases. I'll take 45 for the next week or
Yeah,
two.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Jeez.
Until we go snowboarding, then we want fucking snow.
Where are you guys going? What's the
We
plan?
haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, we're either going to go
We were
to
talking Jackson Hole,
yeah.
but then we found out that it might not work with the style of
Yeah,
snowboarding.
Zito and I like powder and tree runs.
Explain that to both me and the listening audience that has no clue what that means.
Powder means like really thick, dense, fluffy snow, untouched, kind of, you know.
I've heard the term fresh powder
Yeah,
before.
fresh powder. And then we like tree runs because they're beautiful, and you just kind of bob and weave in
okay.
between the trees.
So not like straight down,
Right.
Let me explain.
breakneck speed.
Skiers-
When Paul and I go snowboarding, we enjoy nature and we enjoy working. Right. We're not those like, oh, let's just cruise and just keep it super simple.
Yeah.
We like complicated, you know, where you have to really get into a zone.
Right.
Like I really like to throw my headphones on, listen to some really great music, and just get in a zone where I'm just flowing and just really not really
Getting in a flow zone.
Yeah, get in a flow zone. You're basically unplugging and just get in tune with nature, and that's what we like.
In tune with nature, other than the sounds of it, because I'm drowning those out with my headphones.
Well,
Yeah.
you kind of need some kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like blasting in my ears. It's just like a subtle
Right.
background, because you
Yeah.
still have to be aware of what's going
And there's
on.
really no sounds of nature when you're up on the mountain. It's just dead
I
silence.
mean, wasn't
silence.
Zito almost killed by like a wild Wolverine last time?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was fucking Wolverine. That was a close call.
Wolverine, man. It's there.
Wolverine, bear, possibly a porcupine.
It was
Jeez.
close.
Yeah.
It was close, man.
And then
Touch and go.
And then for, you know, like the steeper the mountain is, the less powder you'll have because it gets skied off.
Okay.
So people stop more frequently, thus shaving snow further and further down the mountain.
Makes sense.
You know, and so if it's really steep, it's not going to be as fluffy. So we don't like really steep ones. They're just not as fun. Not that we can't handle them, but they're just not as fun.
Okay.
And Jackson Hole, I think, is considered like
Number one.
as far as steepness in North American mountains.
Huh.
So we're like, maybe
Maybe
not.
no.
And
Yeah.
Snowbird, where we went,
was number 7.
was number 7, and we
Yeah,
did not have
and
a
we're
good
like,
time.
this is not fun. Yeah,
Wait, was that Utah?
Yeah, it was in Utah.
that was Utah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snow Basin is still. I love Snow Basin.
Yeah.
It's in Utah
Then
as
we were
well.
told to go to Big Sky, Montana, by several people. And a buddy of mine who's going to be joining us, he's like, dude, I haven't been on a board in 6 years. He's like, I don't know if I feel comfortable being like that far out into wilderness. Like, I think like when you think Big Sky and Montana, you're like, oh, I'm 2 hours away from a hospital, right? You know,
Well, by helicopter or
He's
by
also
car?
never been out west.
Okay.
I just want to explain to him, like, it's like falling on a cloud almost, you know, like what we do.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he's
But,
like-
I mean, you like that one time we were at where we got dumped on in Utah, and we felt like we were at the point. The snow was so deep that when we were riding through the trees, we were at the tops of these like 30-foot trees.
Yeah.
Jesus
That-
Christ.
So if you got stuck, you were sinking, and you had to like climb your ass out.
Yeah,
of
it's hard
and
to
it
get out.
Sucked. So. That being said, hopefully he doesn't fucking get stuck and have
Right.
to climb his ass out.
Right.
Because that's going to suck too.
Yeah.
So it's like a mixture of the two. But I don't know. I would 100%, obviously, you know, I would definitely go back to Utah. But Colorado, I've never been to Telluride. And I know you said that was on the possibly. But
Javi, is that a new Captain America hat?
New-ish.
Oh,
New
okay.
since you probably saw me last.
I was just like,
Oh, it does look a little
Did he
newer.
wash it for the first time in 4 years, or did he just buy a new one?
No, I washed the old one plenty of times, and that's why I was getting increasingly faded and beat up. And yeah, so bought this one, got another one that's like black, and then shockingly, my wife managed to find one that was identical to my original. I'm like, yes, let's put that in storage. I'll break that in a couple of years.
Put it in shrink wrap and just vacuum seal it and bust it out. Yeah. So,
I put on this may surprise you. I have quite a few hats, and they're not all Captain America hats. I just don't wear any of them. They just like sit there basically collecting dust.
What's your other one? Magic the Gathering and
No,
Dungeons
Legend of
and
Zelda. Legend of Zelda. Of course.
Of course.
I've got the Flash. Gosh, what else do I have?
Did you play Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch?
I own it. I've like gotten through the loading screen. I haven't made time to actually play it.
It's great.
No, it's
really good.
I watched my kid play it quite a bit. Yeah, it was very cool. I like it a lot, but I haven't put any real time into it.
Yeah.
I'm a busy guy. I have a hard time making time for video games that aren't like on my phone.
Yeah. How are you managing right now with training 7 days a week and doing the podcast? I mean, because it's not new, but you've been doing it for like the last year now, right? That's an added thing on the schedule.
Right. The podcast doesn't really eat up that much time overall. So, it's like I block off the amount of time that we have to be with the guest, obviously. Most of my work in terms of setting things up and whatnot, I try to get that done early in the week, typically on Mondays, because I'm trying to catch up on sleep throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Or the rest of the week, rather. So, like, ideally, talk to the guests and set up options and whatnot. Try to get somebody out, on the show booked on Monday, follow up on Tuesday and Wednesday. A lot of times guys don't get back to me later in the week, and that's fine. It's all done through Messenger and whatnot. So it's just get to it when I can type thing. And then, just block off the number of hours that I think I'll need for a given podcast. Typically, we record on Saturdays or Sundays. And, that's not too hard.
Right.
Every once in a while, I got to make special arrangements, like for the number one most listened to episode. Yeah, had to make some special arrangements to get here for Carlson.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, Junior couldn't come in on the weekend. So
What about Hickson? What do you got to do for Hickson?
I don't know. You're probably gonna have to book a private lesson.
Yeah, you guys really think you're gonna get Hickson in here?
Zito's convinced.
I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah. So it doesn't. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't take up that much of my time. But that's also because, Zito handles the social media, Bruno does the editing. It's not, I'm not involved with the whole production.
Right.
I mainly got to, talk to the guests and get on mic.
Right, right, yeah.
So not too bad.
I was like, when does Javi see his family? This guy. I know. they listen to the podcast.
Yeah, that's how they know me best. So the way my schedule works out, I work nights.
Yeah.
I train in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, basically. I train in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday. I flip my schedule around on the weekend. Not the healthiest thing in the world, but what I feel I have to do. So typically, I'll get done training on Saturday. That Saturday evening, if we don't have a podcast planned or something, I'm with my family the whole evening. Sunday, same sort of thing. I get done training typically by about 11 in the morning. Bang out the podcast, oftentimes in the afternoon like we're doing with this one, or it's late in the night and like my kid's going to go to sleep because the next day is a school night anyhow.
Javi, did you call that number I gave you for that place, that lease?
Yes. Yeah, that is being looked into. Yeah.
For
Nothing
what?
back yet?
For what? A
Nothing
gym?
back yet. Yeah,
do you mean?
yeah, as a possible location.
But did it give you a price? 'Cause I was interested.
No, I
So what's the deal? Are you
we have
guys,
a realtor. Yeah.
Are you
He's handling
guys,
that shit.
Hill with realtor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
are you guys trying to start something together?
No, Zito has no interest in being in business with me.
No. Okay.
We're trying to maintain our friendship here, not tear it apart. sir.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you going to have a partner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So working on that, things are not progressing as quickly as I'd like. But I'm trying not to be impatient about it.
Yeah. You have been talking about this for quite a few years
So yeah,
now.
my boss fortunately doesn't listen to this podcast. My thought, if everything worked out smoothly, was I would be done with my night job as of August this year.
Right.
And that has definitely been pushed back. So I'll still be working there probably, I don't want to say well into, but into 2020. If everything works out, not more than half the year. So
Right.
we'll see how that goes. We still have to.
What is the biggest factor of like causing the
delay.
delay?
Finding a location that we like, that fits price wise, scheduling that kind of stuff. There's been spots that I've looked at that the zoning wasn't going to work out for. That's really fucking frustrating.
There is. Oh, you even have the zoning for jiu-jitsu?
Well, it's got to be
what-
appropriate. Like I thought, because I've been to plenty of them, that I don't necessarily need like a gym with like in a shopping center with like big windows and everything. That'd be cool. That's definitely an option. But I'm looking for something that's very utilitarian. I want to get good training in. So like I thought maybe like an industrial complex, like a warehouse type location with lots of space might be a better bet.
Like
And then you
10th
could
Planet Lombard.
Yeah, exactly. Like Lombard would be. And some of those locations were like, oh yeah, no, we're not zoned for having a gym here.
Yeah.
We can't do that. This, that, and the other thing. So these are just things that, obviously the gym owners that have gone through it, they're like, oh yeah, I know all about that. I didn't.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a learning process. And also, like, the easiest thing in the world for me would be to find some location and be like, I like that spot. Let's go here. But I'm trying to do it in the most respectful manner possible, where it's like, I don't want to go too close to that gym because I don't want to. I don't want to steal.
I know.
Yeah.
But you can't really think that way.
Well,
You just
I do,
gotta-
and I can't.
Otherwise, if everyone thought the way, you would never have a restaurant next to another restaurant. If everyone's wanting to be, oh, well, there's a restaurant there, I can't open up. Dude, the more the better.
We got to feed people.
Got to
bro.
feed people, man. They
They
need to get
need
fed
to
by,
eat, bro.
They need to eat.
People need to
Javi,
eat.
Feed them.
Man, I'm hungry.
Just fucking
man.
open up.
I'm hungry.
Damn it. The fuck? I'm not traveling around. If I know you're there, there.
That's where you're
I'm
gonna be.
go. That's where I'm going to be.
I'm going to put it as far away from you as possible to
Damn
test
it.
your resolve. That's the other thing that, like, not to call bullshit on all the people, but like so many people hit me up and they're like, I love what you do. I want to train with you. I'm like, yeah, but once I open my spot, are you going to come and visit me, or do you love what I do because I'm here at your gym, or I'm close enough that you can make it? That's the thing.
I think knowing you and being, you being one of my instructors, I think people would definitely, if they know, hey, Javi's at the gym from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Well,
Which you would,
which you
'cause
would.
you're insane.
I don't see why you
no,
wouldn't.
but eventually, that's the other thing.
I'm saying there's going to be a morning classes, there's going to be evening classes, maybe not so much in the middle, but maybe you'll be doing privates in the middle of that time.
knows?
I don't see why not. I mean, Javi, your instruction and
I'm
your
going to
details are fantastic.
I'll tell you why not right now, because
Why?
I want to start it up slowly with the hours available. I don't want to overcommit and then be like, oh, I'm sitting here twiddling my fucking thumbs and playing on the internet for
Right.
12 hours.
So you imagine a period where, let's say, for example, the first 3 months, you would still be maintaining your job while teaching day classes, probably while your partner teaches night classes.
Actually, probably not.
Okay. So once you're open, you're in.
So the easiest thing for me to cut out of my life is my job. Okay.
That makes two of us, pal. I'd love if I could.
Well, no, I could quit today.
Okay.
I would just feel like a fucking idiot quitting today because I'm giving away that potential money.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Understood.
I'm in a, don't get me wrong, I'm not rich by any means or anything, but I'm in a financially secure situation currently.
Right, yeah.
My wife is
You weren't
still
stupid
working.
with your money.
Right, exactly. Managed to get rid of a bunch of debt. You know, we went from living in 2 large houses between the families to consolidating all into one, so on and so forth. So the thing is, when it's go time, quitting my job will be the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I'll try to be nice about it and give them plenty of heads up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's not even a question in my mind.
Right.
Javi, I think that, when you start something new, and I fell into this, and it was really odd. I was actually thinking about it the other day. Someone was asking me, how I started my business. And I remember, and it was so odd when I think back on it. I'm like, that's weird I did that. So I started
You
my
just
company.
started it, right?
Right. So I started my company.
Yeah.
And I would charge a travel charge when I visited a client. So in my mind, I'd be like, well, I'm not leaving until someone calls me. I'm just going to stay here until someone calls, because I don't want to waste that money on gas or this and that.
Right.
I'm only going to go somewhere when someone calls and they have a problem. I got to go there. Boom, $50.
Yeah.
Boom, 1 hour, $50. Boom, boom. So I would literally just stay home. When I first started, I was still just at my own place. I would just stay home and just be like, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
But then I realized, why the fuck am I not driving, trying to get more clients or networking or doing stuff like that? Why am I going to stay here and just wait for $50?
You're going to charge them the $50 anyway.
I'm charging the $50 anyway, no matter where I am
where you are.
stationed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm 5 minutes away. $50.
Exactly. No matter what.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to like, that's silly. And then, I worked it out and obviously it worked out.
Yeah.
But for you, when you say you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs while, what I'm saying is you should be there because you don't know who's going to be driving by, see jiu-jitsu, and you're there, and that's an opportunity to collect $100 a month or $150 a month or whatever it can be.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that's a bad thing that you're sitting there, no one shows up. It's still, you're there, you're present, and you can, help people out.
Let me stop you. I get that. Okay. So here's the thing. The reason the transition is going to take some time is not because I don't want to just jump in with both feet. I honestly do. Mm-hmm. Okay. I am slightly, afraid's not even the right word. I am slightly concerned though that it's I'm going to be here all day, all night, go home, barely see my kids, my family and whatnot. And, not get enough good work done with students and clients and whatnot. The main thing that's going to slow me down in the beginning, okay, is I still have my own personal work to do. Okay. I don't have my black belt right now. Okay. Still working to get that. I still have to, I have other programs that I'm teaching at. I don't want to just be like, hey, I got my gym, goodbye. Gotta arrange to have other instructors take that over when the time comes because I don't want the programs to get killed. Some of those programs are going to continue even once I've got my own space for probably a while. I don't have an intention of just leaving all these places I train. I just have to minimize my time there while I maximize my time elsewhere. And as the need increases, I'll be able to spend more time at my gym and less elsewhere. But I'm not going to just be like, I have no students right now, and I'm quitting here and going only to my own gym. No. It's okay, I've got some students that are interested in afternoon classes. Mm-hmm. Great. I'm going to have to cycle away from doing as many afternoon classes as I currently do at LCCT or elsewhere so that I can focus on my own students.
Right.
Okay. My evening classes are really taking off.
But are you getting paid at all these places you teach at?
I mean, that is a very personal question.
Sorry. I'm a businessman right now, so I'm asking you business stuff.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that
what Zito's trying to say is the places that you're not getting paid at is the places you're going to stop going to.
Right. And concentrate on yourself. Yeah. I appreciate how you are, Harb. I love you to death. And I appreciate you think about everyone else. But at the end of the day, you really have to concentrate on yourself and your family and what's best for yourself and your family.
Think about how many people you're doing.
This is your dream. And I don't want you to be
not only that,
delaying it 4 or 5 more years because you're concerned about
that's
Jim
not gonna
B
happen.
over there. But you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but think about how many people that are missing out on the Javier Palomo experience. I mean, seriously.
100%. That's very true.
not
that many. I'm easy to find, guys.
But you know what I'm saying. I mean,
the sooner
I can only
you're opening a
imagine your
business,
own gym.
the sooner you're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
But
and right now you're not. You do, but
Yeah.
you could do it more, and you could do it on your terms.
Exactly.
And you could do it for a living.
Right, and that's the objective. That's the objective is to get it there. Okay, I mean, I'm not denying that at all.
Yeah.
Okay, but I like what I do right now. I'm not unsatisfied with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do more of it, and to do that, the thing that has to get cut out is my normal Joe job.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, like we have a kids no-gi program at LCCT that I'm in charge of.
Great.
I wanna continue handling that until it's time to hand it off, and I will continue doing so until that is the case.
And I'm sure a lot of these programs are very successful, not only because LCCT is a great school, but because you're leading the programs.
I mean,
and you lead
hopefully.
you lead the programs at your own gym. Now you have a quicker way to ending your job and then doing what you really are. I mean, I think this is what you're supposed to do. I mean, this is who
I
you
hope
are.
so.
I think you're an excellent instructor.
Thank you.
And I really I really want you to open gym. I mean, sooner rather than later. Listen, no one, everyone knows, man. We don't know when anything's gonna happen to anybody, you know. And you know
that book, The Daily Stoic, will change your perspective on pulling the trigger.
Pulling the trigger, man. It's just, you know, jumping in and just doing it and getting it done.
Yeah.
And
when I was in a less financially safe place, the reason that I didn't do it was mainly money.
Sure.
Like
I remember.
I didn't want to take the risks because I have a family.
You have a family.
Right.
Yeah.
Get
so
it.
that is that major concern, the thing that's held me back the longest there in terms of my own anxiety over it, it's gone. That's not the issue at all anymore. Now it's just I want to transition into it the correct way, what I feel is the correct way. And no offense, it's unlikely that anyone's going to convince me. I'm pretty old and set in my ways about what I feel I need to do that. So
I'm not trying to convince you, just trying to encourage you.
Yeah, encouragement.
I appreciate it. And like,
if you have any doubts, we know we don't have any doubts in you.
I'm looking forward to what hopefully will be a really bright future for this project. Like this is big stuff for me. I've been planning this for years.
It seems like Keenan took your name. You know?
Oh, you thought I was going to be American Legion Jiu-Jitsu?
I mean, Captain America. I mean,
great name.
It would be amazing. It would suit you very well.
Keenan's name's awesome.
I'm sorry.
It's fucking amazing.
Legion
Actually, I think
American Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I said it backwards, didn't I? The Legion American Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
I love how Keenan is kind of
trolling everyone.
It's kind of a troll, but then you ask him about it, and it's like, oh, those are all like very legitimate reasons.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Dude,
like he's not wrong, you know, but he knows it's going to piss people off, but he's kind of like, yeah, so what? What's right is right.
Right.
You know, and I don't know. I'm a big Keenan fan.
Yeah, I am also. I like him. But yeah, that would have been a great. Maybe you can open up. Maybe you can be an affiliate of his.
Yeah, who is your affiliation going to be with?
Oh God, let's not go here.
Let's go on Mike.
I mean, Javier. It'll be like Javier Palom. He'll have his sign, and then it'll be like
37 symbols.
fucking logos, but no below his fucking name. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Right. All right. So, and then another obstacle. Your black belt, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have any kind of idea? Have you talked to anybody who's like...
So this is probably more superstition than anything. I consider that subject inappropriate to talk about. Okay. I don't just like I wouldn't go up and ask for my black belt.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I don't want to put that out there as to when it's going to be.
Right.
You know, but yes, the discussion has been had.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Did you have a discussion with an actual person who was
actual
like,
person?
Yes. You know what I mean? Because
an actual individual able to award a black belt?
Yeah, because I know the issue for a long time was that you train at so many different places. You're not really a part of any particular.
I look at it the other way, actually.
Okay. You're a part of every team is how you look at it. And they look at it as, well, you're not strictly Hickson, or you're not strictly, and so you're just kind of being shared around like the town whore.
Thank you. Probably the most accurate description.
Right. But I mean, like, let's be realistic. That's why it's taken you so long in this promotion track.
But I don't think it's that long. That's the I know you guys look at me like I got two fucking heads when I say shit like that. It hasn't been that long for jiu-jitsu. I've been involved in martial arts for a very long time, obviously.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, I mean,
you've been grappling for 23 years, dude.
I mean,
submission grappling.
Right. But jiu-jitsu specific stuff?
I mean, come on, dude.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I guess. I mean, you're a fucking black belt in judo. You've got, Sambo national titles. You've won
Japanese
worlds.
jiu-jitsu.
Hey, guess
black
what?
Belt?
Hey, you know what you can't do? Win worlds at Brown twice. I mean, not supposed to happen.
Okay, hold on. That's
what I mean.
Hold on. That's an interesting.
They should have fucking belted you as soon as you came back from New York.
It was Nogi Worlds.
That's fine. I don't care.
No, I'm just saying, like, by not belting me, they were giving me another opportunity at getting a world championship in the gi at Masters Worlds.
Was that actually said?
I believe that was a part of the.
Okay.
A part of the.
If that's the reason, I'm cool with it.
Right.
Because
I mean, my first Masters World,
Yeah.
which I did the best at, honestly,
Yeah.
was at purple belt.
Yeah.
my next Masters World, you know, I got in there at brown, not so good.
Right.
You know, these things happen. This year I went out as a brown belt, probably going to be my final Masters Worlds at brown. Trained like crazy, got hurt in the first round, didn't perform well in the second, out of there, no medal at all. So yeah, I was really, I mean, like the way I saw it happening was, you know, I had a vision of getting on that podium and maybe it would happen then. And like at LCCT, we test.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the belt and the test might come at separate times or whatnot, but, you know, did not work out that way. So yeah, we wait.
Yeah.
You know? And when the time, again, when the time is correct, you know, my instructors will give it to me. I have to trust their judgment, whatever it may be. You know, I'm not gonna go up and ask for my black belt. That seems like a surefire way to make sure that it gets delayed as long as possible.
That's ridiculous.
But you know, like they're looking at my performance in the room against our other top guys, against themselves.
Right.
Okay. You know,
I mean, if your instructor is Hickson Gracie and he's like comparing you to him, it's going to be a long road.
that's why it's a slow ride for some people.
Long fucking road, right?
But that's just it. Everyone has different belting
Incredible.
philosophies as well.
Yeah.
Like,
of course, right.
Like, and I'm not
Is that
saying
why LCCT has a program where you have to test for your belt because of the high level that they are at? Is that why they put that in place?
I think more so than anything else, that comes from that was Elio's side of the family generally has that approach. It seems.
Does Hickson has that? Well, there's a testing.
So I've been told by different people that Hickson does or does not have testing.
Okay.
But most of Hickson's black belts that I've spoken to and whatnot, like Pedro Sauer and whatnot, they all test. I presume that comes from Hickson. So there may be periods of time where Hickson didn't do that.
It does now, right?
But I think frequently does. Again, a better question for someone like Luis or
when
whatnot,
Hickson comes in, we'll make sure we ask him.
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm sure.
No problem. Get him on mic talking about that belt test. I'm sure
Yeah. I mean,
Makes sense.
But
you know how everyone gets, like, anytime anyone gets a new promotion, they're kind of like, ooh, all right, you know, I don't know if I'm ready. You know, I got to live up to this belt now. Uh-oh, there's a target on my back. Like, everybody has that feeling when they get promoted. Javier might be the first guy on earth who's going to be like, no, I'm definitely a fucking black belt. Give me that goddamn thing. It's about time.
Hey, I've met dudes that were exactly like that through their promotions. Okay, so that's
Have you really?
100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%. Some of them got promoted very quickly, primarily through competition, where it was
Gotcha.
like, dude, I fucking won everything.
I won everything. I'm subbing all the black belts. Give me a black belt. Yeah.
Yeah. When there's guys that are like blue belts beating black belts because they're
gym.
top tier competitors,
Right.
and it's like, yeah, you're in your blue for another year minimum. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
That guy for sure is ready for purple.
Right. Yeah.
And then the transition from purple to brown, same exact thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've talked to those guys. You know, I've increasingly it seems to happen where we've got guys that are coming up that are like champions as kids, and it's like, yeah, you can't get that belt till you're 16, but you basically a black belt already.
You're beating everybody up.
Right. Except the other guys that are phenoms just like them.
Right.
So like I've definitely seen that opposite spectrum.
Oh,
where
it's so weird, man. The way I mean, like, go to AOJ's, go to Mendez Brothers Instagram. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That 12-year-old would murder me. Like, the fucking shit they're doing is crazy.
Yeah.
right.
It's
Right.
I know.
it's like literally, it's like they're doing, these little kids, these 10, 11-year-olds are doing like Hoffa's moves.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
As they should be, right?
Yeah, but doing it just as good as he's doing it, you know?
Probably easier for them to pick it up at that age than it is for
like
a lot of us.
sponge, yeah, because he probably kind of created half of them anyway. But
Right. Well, yeah, different stories there.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless. So some people, I feel like at the two extremes. There's guys that hold you in your belt as long as possible.
Right.
Like they want to give you the maximum amount of time to win as many medals or whatever to accomplish your things. And they also want to make sure, I think this is a big difference. Like Maneco's philosophy is kind of the opposite. He wants to push you so that you'll get into the higher division, so you have to rise to the challenge, right?
For some people, yes.
Okay, it depends on the individual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he does do the hang on. I want you to compete at Brown for another year.
Right.
To, especially like the younger guys kind of thing, where his criteria for belting someone who, let's say, is 45 years old would be a lot different.
Right.
Like, what does this guy need to become? A fucking world beater? He's been training for 8-9 years. He's put the time in,
Right.
He's getting his black belt.
See, I'm in that weird spot where people want me to be a world beater, but I am that age, basically.
Right.
So yeah, like, but that's the thing. So some people hold you in the belt as long as they feel comfortable. They want to see very specific things oftentimes, whether that be medals or a technical weakness that they feel that you have. And then other people, push basically as fast as they can without fucking up somebody's competitive career.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to be in the belt for this amount of time before you get promoted. Okay, you're going to be in, that plus 1 day tops.
Right.
And then we're going to promote you to the next belt. So like between those two extremes, everyone kind of falls somewhere in that spectrum.
And you hope that there's no malicious intent or like being held back for certain reasons by certain instructors.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I just don't want to see this guy leave my gym or see this guy, move on. I just want to keep him kind of here under my wing.
Or I want to be the top dog in the gym. I don't need. I want to be the only black belt or something like that.
No, that kind of thing would never happen to me anyhow.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
I'm sure this has happened 100%.
It's had to have happened.
100%.
It can't happen at LCCT because there's already several black belts in that school.
But
So
I'm sure in some whatever place you want to think of in your head, but there's a guy that's an instructor and he's got this guy who's probably really, really good, but he's going to keep him a little bit, hungry, keep him working and kind of chilling out in the background while this guy's kind of taking over a little bit and kind of helping him grow that place out. You know what I mean? I'm sure for sure. It happens in business. Of course it's going to happen in the gym.
Yeah.
You
got it all though, Javi. I mean, let's go down the checklist of what
I got so many things I'm still trying to accomplish. It's so funny that you say that because I don't see it that way at all.
You got the knowledge, you got the teaching ability, you got the time on the mat, you've got the competition, all the competitions you've won, accolades.
Not as many as I want, though.
Right, not as many. I mean, when's it ever going to be as many as you want?
I mean. Realistically?
I mean, everybody has that mindset. Like, oh, it could be more. I mean, even
it could be more, but I have specific goals that, not to get into a gi versus no gi argument. Okay, I feel like I've accomplished a fair number of things in no gi. That's where I've spent the majority of my my competition time.
Right.
And I feel pretty good there.
Yeah.
Like my game is pretty solid in no gi. I feel that while I've won a ton of gi competitions, but I haven't won a major.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the brackets are a lot bigger.
They're
going to be harder to win.
I mean, it's definitely not just that. Like the level of competition is higher. Right. There's other factors. It'd be really cool if we had a major here in Chicago so that I don't fuck up my schedule.
Right.
With travel and whatnot. But is what it is. There's all kinds of little things that work into that.
Right.
So one of the things I want to do, and I'm just going to keep grinding at it until I do, barring some kind of horrible injury or something like that, is I want to win one of the majors in the gi. Now, my chances for that are basically the ones that seem most realistic to me are Pans, Masters Worlds. Okay. The idea of me winning adult gi worlds is ridiculous. Okay. I might try it at some point, but
what about Euros?
It's not that I don't respect Euros. It's just
it's a major.
It is, but I feel like a lot of the problems that I have that come up because of travel would be compounded massively by going to Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just certain things.
So you're trying to tell me that
American Nationals is a major, right? Or is it not?
No. American Nationals is
Brazilian Arrows is Brazilian Arrows.
So what is it? It's Worlds,
Euros,
the Brasileiro, and
Brasileiro.
I thought nationals.
I think there's just 4. I thought.
Yeah, but then you got your no-gi tournaments obviously mixed in there too.
Okay.
So basically,
isn't it 6 for the grand? Well, I want a grand slam. I mean, that's
you and I are going to be in the same brackets.
No, not necessarily
tournaments.
No, you're tiny.
Aren't you light feather?
No, I'm giant. What are you talking about?
This is gonna be a bad.
I mean,
year.
I can't do rooster. Okay, I could probably kill
So
myself.
you're trying to tell me to go rooster?
No,
Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? You told me on air, go to rooster
No,
because
shut the
I'm gonna
fuck
fuck you up.
I have not been able to make that drastic of a cut
Yeah.
and feel good about myself. I don't think I can do it. Definitely not no-gi. Maybe the gi.
I don't see the point in cutting weight.
Right. I don't
age.
really feel like it's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do it to say that I did it, but that's just like an ego thing, honestly. So I mostly end up doing light feather or feather. And the difference of that is like, how much do I feel like eating, the week of the comp. So yeah, like we never have to be in the same bracket if I don't want to be, because I'll just go up to featherweight.
Okay.
And I generally do try to avoid competing against my friends. So yeah, like I suppose it could happen if you could stay healthy,
That's true.
But that also won't happen. So
Damn. What are you trying to say? I'm gonna get broken off again?
probably
Fucking foot.
dumbass.
Yeah. Same foot, right?
Same foot. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's just like that
leaving
foot
it
is
out
just
there.
always going to be able to be broken off easier, right? Because it's already been broken off.
I don't know, man.
Is that a thing?
It was
Now eventually it
pretty
gets so
fucking-
broken off that you stop caring anymore.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's just a bad leg.
I mean,
Let
for
it go.
sure, I left it out there. But you got to also remember it during that roll with him. It was 20 seconds left of the roll. I just tapped him with a straight ankle lock. And I was just like, oh, 20 seconds left. All right, I'm just going to lay on my back and just
he's got to
chill.
get that one back, dude.
Yeah, he's got to get it back.
He's got to get it back.
And that's what I was not really expecting.
How can you not be ready for that?
Of course he
Bro,
wants it back, dude.
because I don't know. I was just.
And he's only got 20
because I
seconds.
just exerted a lot of energy to get that. So I was kind of fucking tired. So
Yeah.
I wasn't like, rolling with Hafina is it's not easy.
Yeah.
When he's on, and I'm like,
I mean, I've
and
rolled
my
with him, I
game-
know.
My game is like, to get that tap on him is fucking not easy.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, gassed out a little bit, and it's 20 seconds left. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to fend off. My leg is up there, and he just dived. And his technique, and it's not his fault. His technique, and as well as Javi, you, myself, when your technique is just that on, there's no margin of like, I'm going to slide. I turned, but I couldn't go anywhere. Like, it was just there, and I couldn't get out of it.
Do you verbally tap?
I verbally tapped that.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
I verbally tap to everything that I tap to.
Yeah, you
I
usually
verbally
do.
tapped everything.
Yeah.
But for that, I was immediate. I mean, he heard it.
And I tell guys
Wasn't
too,
even like-
because, I've caught in, when you're rolling with, a fresh blue belt and stuff, and you're arm barring them, and they're kind of spinning out, and you're just kind of like holding it. You're not cranking it any, but, and then they're like, you see that they're trying to free their other hand to tap.
Yeah.
Right.
And it like got caught up in something,
Right.
or, it's that extra second. I'm like,
just
I always explain to them after. I go, dude, tap verbally.
Right.
Tap verbally as well as physically. Tap.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Nothing wrong.
And
Actually-
I've never been injured from a submission.
I got fucked up. Yeah, and this is like one of those mental checklist things that I'm like gonna not do that at my school, but was rolling too close to the speaker, which was playing loud music.
Okay.
Verbally tapped. Training partner did not hear me over the music.
Yay.
And could not. I was.
That's why you do
trying-
both.
I was trying to defend the triangle arm bar.
Right.
And so I'm like, I can't let my grip go because the arm bar will get
Right.
extended out. And then, like my arm's stuck under there, so I couldn't really tap.
Tap, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I tried to verbal tap, didn't hear me, said it again, didn't hear, shoulders getting cracked. Tap for the love of God.
Yeah. Yes, you screamed it and he heard it.
Yeah. It was a screaming tap.
Right.
So and like not a serious injury for it, just a little tweaked.
Right.
But yeah, like
Went further than you would like.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Didn't need to go that far in training. But
Right.
yeah, he thought I wasn't tapping. He couldn't hear me. He's like, oh, I don't have it. Clearly. My angle must be off or something.
Right.
I think that would be another good, like welcoming message, welcoming video. Because a lot of people, even
How to tap?
Well, that, but no, just what people can expect during a roll, like a first roll. Like doing the fundamentals class, I have a lot of first timers, right? So it's like after 3 classes, you can then roll. But even after 3 classes, you still have no idea what's going
Man,
on.
I'm on him rolling on day one. I'm still adjusting this new world order
Of rolling day one.
of not training right away. Yeah, like of a lot of
You're
gyms
for
have,
it or you're against it.
The reason I am addicted to this is because I got on the mats and got my ass kicked.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my impression coming from that old school
Yeah.
way of thinking is that we want them on the mat as soon as possible to really, really experience
Yeah.
it. And a lot of people, in various organizations and whatnot, don't let the guys roll until they have X amount of classes. X being sometimes 3 classes, sometimes 30.
Yeah.
It varies.
I think
Like Gracie Baja used to be, you can't roll until you have a stripe on your
white
belt, which
yeah.
means you've attended at least 30 beginner classes.
I think there's nothing wrong with that.
That's how I started.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I wouldn't have stayed.
Yeah.
That's you because you're a savage.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Not
just it,
everyone.
though.
What are the most common people going to jiu-jitsu are not you.
So
Don't get me wrong. I was frothing at the mouth
For
the
the
whole
opportunity?
fucking time. You've never seen anyone complete 30 days so fucking quick. Like I
Can I double
barely, I barely missed because I was trying to
triple?
spar.
Yeah, so-
but in a sense, I've rolled with white belts that are just like they don't even know what the fuck to do, and you got to stop and be like, okay, look, when you're passing, stand up. Get a grip on my pants.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
And what you're trying to do is get past my legs. That's your objective without me submitting you or sweeping you.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay. And you give them something to kind of work towards where
course.
cause they're kind of just like, they're like, you know,
know where to put their
they don't
hands
know where
or-
to put their hands. That, you know,
they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
Okay. But here's the thing. I don't like, I'm not advocating that we put them with like a spazzy, super competitive
Right, of
four
course
stripe
not.
white belt.
Right,
you know,
right.
like I want them to go with somebody good who can control the flow of it generally.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the thing. So I've seen the opposite thing happen. Like you're saying you were frothing at the mouth.
Right.
I've seen guys, not naming names obviously, but I've seen guys who are like, wait, I have to join general population now? Can't I do more fundamentals class? I don't want to roll.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Right.
Because they've had a month to build it up, 2 months, 3
Right,
months, whatever
right,
it may
right.
be, it as this big deal.
Right.
You know, no, I want to normalize them right away.
Yeah.
This is what it's like. Okay, we're not going to put you with somebody who's going to hurt you. You know, let's give you an experience. You know, I'm going to show you how to escape a pin. You're going to try it on somebody with live resistance. That's
Yeah.
all that's going to happen right now.
Right.
And you're probably going to find that very frustrating. You might, you know, you're going to find out real quickly if you're claustrophobic too.
Right.
Okay, but I feel like, you know, some degree of that is necessary to get you addicted, and also to teach you like, oh, this is what it really feels like. This is how I know it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it to him. He could do it to me.
Yes.
Obviously, this. Yeah.
I know. I agree. There's nothing sells jiu-jitsu better than
Jiu-jitsu.
getting your ass kicked and that feeling. Everyone says the same thing. I felt so helpless that I never wanted to feel like that again. And I
That's
thought
why
to
I'm
myself,
signing up.
I have to learn this art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
I mean, the vast majority, and actually, maybe I shouldn't say that. The vast majority of the people that have signed that mat on our wall have had some sort of story basically like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the guys that stick with it had that
Jeff
moment.
Serafin's the best, I think. He got put to sleep 3 times his first class.
Maybe that was going a little hard.
Did anyone? Did they teach? They had to have taught you how to tap after the first time you went to sleep, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you've been out before, right? After you go out the first time, it's so much easier to happen subsequently.
I just heard people talking about that. It's kind of like losing your chin power.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
it's not. Sorry, just to clarify, it's not a long-term thing. It's just,
Right.
yeah, like in that roll, it's like, oh, you just went out. Like nobody choke this fucker for the rest of the rolls. He's
Okay.
vulnerable.
Oh.
Because you'll think you have plenty of time to tap and your fucking lights will go out
Yeah,
again. And you're like, what happened? I thought I was okay. You
Yeah.
weren't.
Right.
You were not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You were
Paul,
not.
so what you heard was, that's what I heard as well, that if you go out often, actually you do suffer some type of traumatic brain
CTE.
injury.
So yeah.
So, okay, yeah, there's very opposing
Yeah, yeah,
viewpoints
of course,
on that. I think it's worth talking about, but I don't have. We should get somebody in here who like. It'd
That's
be
a
awesome
great
to get
idea.
somebody
That'd
in
be a
who's
good
got,
episode.
like actual medical experience and can.
What doctor would fall under that cat? What would a neurologist?
I would assume so.
Yeah,
but also
what's happening when-
Cardiology is vital because it's linked together.
What's happening to, the brain that makes it, obviously no oxygen to the brain, cuts off.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily how it works, but go ahead.
Okay.
No blood to the brain.
No blood to the brain.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Is that it?
Maybe. See, that's the thing. There's even discussion about
that is the way it is.
Well, that's because you're just like repeating the dogma.
Exactly, because that's all I know.
You're shutting off the carotid arteries, which
Yes.
stops blood flow to the brain.
Right.
What does blood do? It carries oxygen throughout the
Right.
body. So
Exactly.
it's technically both, I think, is what Javier is trying to...
No,
What have you heard, Javi?
it's actually more complicated than that because there's neurological stuff going on that has to do with possibly the manipulation of the vagus nerve, which is right there as well.
Uh-huh.
So this is stuff that, like, I don't think anyone's put enough research into it to say with absolute certainty what the specific mechanic that actually shuts you off is. You're obstructing, you're not closing. Okay, so we are disrupting that general flow, but we're
Right.
not actually fully closing it off. Okay, so that's not the factor that puts you to sleep, is that you've completely cut off blood flow. You've just restricted it.
Right.
And that's the theory. Okay, but there's other people that believe that when you're putting those chokes on, that you're actually basically convincing your body that you're about to like have like a stroke or heart attack. Okay, and your body shuts down defensively
Before that happens.
before it can happen to prevent you from taking any damage.
Right.
Okay? Now, obviously, if we keep choking into somebody, I mean, like, shit gets lethal eventually. Okay.
How long does it get lethal?
Man, I don't even want to speculate on that. Like, anything I say, I feel like it's longer than a couple of seconds, but
Right.
like
I could see that
we don't have an exact science where it goes, oh, you put him out for this amount of time, he's fine. You put him out for this amount of time, he's going to get some minor brain damage. You put him out for this amount of time, he gets major brain damage. You put him out for this amount of time, he's dead. Like, it's
Right.
not. I've seen guys say that you basically got to like hold a choke for X amount of time.
What's X?
Usually a minute or more.
60 seconds. Really?
Yeah, but I've also seen guys say that no, that's not necessarily true. Like, this is not shit that people want to fuck around with. The only guys that I know that seem to have actual research about this are military guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't know how
I thought it was sooner than 60 seconds.
for
to,
death.
to kill
Death,
somebody?
yeah, I thought it was sooner.
No, I mean, I think yeah, it's at least a minute. I would have said,
But again, there's nobody sitting there in a
Right.
life or death struggle
Let's-
going,
yeah.
okay, start the timer.
Right.
I mean, and if there is, it's,
well, I mean, your theory on, it's the brain shutting down to protect yourself.
and
Like,
again, not my theory. Like that's
yeah,
a theory.
that's a theory, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, I could agree with, losing chin power because your brain just says, okay, we're just going to shut off here so you don't take any more head trauma.
Maybe.
But like to call that like a natural like instinct, wouldn't you think that the brain would want to
So-
keep you
hold on,
alive
hold on.
seconds longer to fight off the...
So I'm gonna mess this up because again, I'm not the medical guy.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I believe the argument is with the whole vagus nerve thing is that because of the sudden drop in blood pressure that you are creating, you're getting this reaction, and it's like reboot type reaction is what the brain's basically saying. Like, this is dangerous. We've got a sudden drop in blood pressure. Turn off. It's not that, oh, we've run out of oxygen. Okay, like that's not the mechanism that they're saying is actually happening. It's that there's a medical problem. There's a problem, and we need to turn off. Okay, calm down, lower ourselves to a lower baseline, and then the system comes back up.
You know what we need to do is find the video from the cell of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah, that would
And
definitely-
we
Yes.
know how long it actually takes to kill somebody.
So
That is true.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to tell you where to find that. Well, nobody knows where to find that. But, like, there's definitely videos of dudes being...
Was there any proof of a body?
Wait, what?
Epstein.
Yeah, they did
Like, I
autopsy on
know
him, didn't they?
Hillary Clinton had him killed. Like, we all know
Jesus.
that, right?
Bruno, edit that part out. We're trying to save Maloney's life.
But could he not have just disappeared? Like, new identity, new country, new everything,
No, I guess not.
was there a body?
Yeah, there's...
Who saw it?
I mean, didn't the family run? They did a whole thing where they said his neck was broken as if in a manner that's indicative of like strangulation or hanging.
Right.
Yeah. Like they did an autopsy on his body, so
Right.
So yeah, presumably the family's got it at this point.
Okay.
I guess I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the story that much.
Unless they got an Epstein lookalike, whacked
Oh,
that
geez.
dude, choked him out, and then said, "Oh yeah, hey.
Eddie Bravo, where you at, man?
Dental records confirm it. You know, they're like,
I'm going straight, going straight John Wick with this one.
It's possible. It's
Yeah.
possible.
What do you say we wrap this up before it gets
It
weirder?
gets too silly?
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Way to you guys. I know wanted to end the year on a strong note, so that's
right.
why I was brought in.
It's true.
But this will have to do.
Yeah. This. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody listening.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're not doing any guest technique, right? No gi you brought?
Nah, I didn't bring anything.
Let's show some guest snowboarding technique.
There you go. Oh, it's going to be glorious this year. It's going to be glorious. I cannot wait. All right, everyone. Happy holidays. We'll see you all next year.
Paul,
Bye.
thanks again.
Yep, you're welcome. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. For more information about Grappler Union Podcast, you could visit us at our website at grapplerunion.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Grappler Union. Please like us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Say what?
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to all that shit. You got to do another take, right?
Oh.